Okay, so Keffals and Destiny have been beefing on Twitter a lot. Their fans have been going at it. The Destiny community and the Keffals community, both very dedicated, very online groups of people. So it's been fun to see here on Twitter. Destiny fans are rabid and insane and kind of bad faith sometimes, but it seems like Keffals has gotten into some hot water and she does not have a really good explanation, but maybe we'll see a good explanation in here. Debating Destiny. It's only 9 minutes long, but let's see. Hopefully there'll be something in here.
Fine. So here's a question. You enter a shady business, okay? Let's
Shady
say
business.
that there is a woman, she's locked in a fucking cage, and it says she's not going to be freed until she's raped. You know that no matter what happens, somebody has to rape that woman in order for her to get freed.
Eric Andre's like,
What are you talking about?
dude,
You sound insane.
kind of insane, yeah.
So,
I mean, maybe that might be clipped out of context, but like, why would you even come up with a scenario? Like, you let the woman out of the cage. Like, you'd find some way to. It's not like, oh, like one way or another she's gonna rape. No, you could just let her out. You could force her to be let out. You should, you know, I don't know what sort of hypothetical scenario that is. Okay, anyway.
well, I hope that you're all ready for this.
I'm ready.
I'm sure at this point you're all
I'm ready.
familiar with
I'm
Destiny.
ready.
You know, like, Destiny is a pretty big name, and I
Destiny.
feel like I'd
I
be
hear that's a
stupid
girl's name.
to assume at this point people here wouldn't know. And I
Oh,
have
I
a
know.
very
I know, all right.
complicated history with Destiny. I don't actually know much about Destiny, but I've had
I know
friends
quite a bit
who
about
really
this.
enjoy Destiny. I used to have a friend.
Yeah, fortunately, Destiny's a really smart guy. He's done a lot of debates, a lot of good content in the past, a lot of political analysis. Unfortunately, he really went off the rails starting in 2018, and then especially in 2020. Of course, in 2020, everyone went a little insane, right? But that's when his anti-lefty arc really accelerated, and that's when it seemed like he gave in to all the spite and all the aggression, because he did face some aggression from these radical lefties, some of which was not totally warranted. There are a lot of mean lefties out there who are like really rude and unreasonable, but that doesn't mean you should change your whole political stance to oppose these people that might be a little off the rails. Oh my gosh. This yeah, and so seems like he's dedicated his life to going after these radical lefties who he despises. Yeah, look at this. Keffals Manifesto. Destiny leaks all DMs and addresses all allegations. He did not leak addresses. Okay, good. Yeah, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, the amount of time that he'll spend like going into Keffals. I'm not sure exactly what Keffals has lied about. I know some of the allegations, but if what I'm thinking of is the only thing, that's it. That's not even that bad, but we'll see. We'll get into it later.
who played on a Minecraft server that I was on, who was always like, you should play Destiny with me, it's a really fun game. And I was just like, I don't know.
Play Destiny?
You know, like, it's hard to get into new games. So I've never played
Destiny, the game looks cool, but I don't know, not cool enough to actually like get into and buy. I have plenty of games to play. I have a whole backlog of games that I bought on Steam, but have never played.
Destiny before, and that's why I have a hard time, like, with the debate, like, is Destiny good or bad? And
Yeah, even on Twitter, like, when Destiny's trending, you can never tell if it's Destiny the video game, or... Yeah, look, this is a Destiny reference, some dragon shit, some dragon porn, or something. Where is it? Where is it? In all this discourse, right in the middle of everything. Finally got Destiny 2 streaming on my Steam Deck smoothly using the video game And then Destiny in bed was a mistake. I stayed up too late. Lol. Yeah, the virgin Destiny fan versus the Chad Destiny enjoyer, just playing Destiny on his Steam Deck throughout the night, unaware of any of this politics stuff. So
it's like, I don't really know. Like, I've never played the fucking game before. So, you know, it's been pretty contentious, like with my past, like the history that I've had with this video game. But I think in general, it's probably good. It's like, I think Destiny's probably a good game.
I mean, it's been around for a while, and there's Destiny 2 now. Yeah, if Destiny's so good, why isn't there a Destiny 2, huh?
If it wasn't a good game, they probably wouldn't have made a sequel to Destiny.
Exactly.
Like, the fucking game is like always trending on Twitter. So if I had to give,
I wonder how much that trending is boosted by mentions of Destiny, the streamer, because yeah, it seems like the two get mixed up a lot. And it seems like Destiny's always being discussed on Twitter one way or another.
Bit of review, even though I've never played it. I think I would give
streamers.
Destiny probably like a 7.5 out of 10, because you know, I had some other people that I talk to, they tell me that Destiny is overrated. And
sure.
I could see that. Like, it seems like it's a game that like gets way too much hype.
It gets a lot of hype. It's like a first-person shooter. It's like it's the spiritual sequel to Halo, but like, yeah, seems like it's running on like the coattails of 343 Industries. Isn't that what it was made of? Anyway, we're not talking about Destiny here.
So I don't know. Maybe I could like play it on stream sometime, because Destiny's already not bad.
Just the whole
like
thing.
I don't. That's why it was so hard today. I didn't know whether or not I should have the Destiny debate, because, as I said, you know, I've never played the game. Show the cat? I can't show the cat. That's not how this works. So
yeah, that's the Destiny debate.
My ex always played it, so I hate it. Yeah, I think I might give it a shot, actually. But like, is the original game better than the sequel, or what do you think? Because I haven't played either.
Okay,
Destiny
so
1
she's
is
not
superseded by the
actually
new one.
debating
It's like
Destiny.
an MMO.
Okay, I get it. She baited everyone with the Destiny debate. Yeah, I was wondering, how can the debate be 9 minutes long? But yeah, of course, Destiny baited everyone with Jordan Peterson debate, and then leaked the Keffals Manifesto during that time he was supposed to be debating Jordan Peterson. I imagine the debate would have been hyped up a little bit more if that were true. But yeah, not too surprising that Destiny would lie about this. But yeah, this is a nice way of yeah, addressing the Destiny. Well, turns out there are some allegations in the manifesto that are actually a lot of people seem to think that there's something to it, but it's possible that those are all Destiny fans. So we'll see. And
you know, I'm proud of myself. I'm really happy that I decided to do some introspection and grow as a person. So I think we came away from this as better people. At least I did. I think that I'm a better person after this debate, and I'm really happy. I'm really looking forward.
Hey, at least she admits she's wrong about something.
Thank you all for being here on my journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Maybe the game could become your only source of content.
Your only source. Yeah, she's a Destiny streamer now. Sure.
Is Destiny even worth responding to? He apparently said he's done after this manifesto. Who are you talking? I'm talking about a video game. Who the fuck is Destiny?
Do you think Destiny's a person?
We were talking about
Destiny's a video game, dumbass.
Destiny. I don't know a person named Destiny. And also, can you please, like, if that is true that you're talking about a person, can you please stop misgendering her? Men are not named Destiny. That's a girl's name. Destiny's
a girl's name.
So
everybody knows
I'm
this.
talking about the game
exclusively
Destiny,
for
published by
Black
Bungie Inc.
Bungie Inc. That's the.
But make sure you let everyone know I beat Destiny in this debate, because I did. Because beating the debate was really looking inside my heart and discovering the truth about myself. And
she was debating herself. That's deep. Okay. Okay, kind of disappointed that she does not address any of the allegations, but possibly they're not worth addressing. Let's see. This is 3.5 hours long. I'll watch a little bit.
Do like a huge ruse, but ruse.
Ruse. Okay, so this is all a ruse. Okay, got it.
Going to the people I've talked to where half of it. So, yeah, here we go. The sourcing for this was
case study on internet terrorism.
There's a lot of links. I don't know.
Mass media.
How
long is this manifesto? Did he write a whole ass book on Keffals? Like, I mean, hold on. Are there chapters? Keffals Ascension. Kiwi Farms and Suis, original swatting claims, Northern Ireland swattings, bathtub hormones, and spy games. Keffals reaches out and wants truce.
Play by ear as I go along because Jesus Christ.
Manifesto Q&A. So
they should war with one another across cyberspace. With cultural, political, and advertiser pressure bearing down on these social media platforms, conservatives have slowly found themselves on the losing end of the digital battlefield in the ongoing culture war. As the role
they're
flips
losing
from
the
oppressee
culture
to
war.
oppressor, progressives have sometimes found themselves embracing many of the same styles of aggression conservatives once engaged in. This is going to be a cataloging, past year, demonstration of what happened.
They're being so mean. These lefties are being so mean now that they have some sense of like power. I mean, maybe there's always going to be some bullies. There's always going to be some like I don't know, some bad behavior on. But there's bad behavior on both sides. I mean, like when the left was not in power, they played the victim all the time. And then the right wing, you know, they had to play the victim in their own way, because like it's not cool to be an oppressor. It's cool to be oppressed, but not like if you are the oppressor, then that's kind of like ontologically bad thing. At least it's not a viable thing to say out loud. But like, I mean, power is power. Like if you're in a position of power, you should be able to use that power, especially if you think you're doing it for a good reason. So
communities fail to hold their own members responsible. And what comes with the belief that there are no bad tactics, only bad targets? There's going to be a careful documentation of lies, scams, threats, bullying, doxing, and an utter lack of accountability.
Scams.
Over the years, I've worried about the types of tactics endorsed by progressive communities, the uncomfortable distorting of narratives, the grotesque shape-shifting of facts, and the general inability to hold themselves to a decent standard of behavioral conduct. I've been worried that the right combination of identity politics combined with a holy mandate for members of the media may empower deplorable actors become the new representatives of our movements with no one left to put the brakes on their treachery. The prevailing narrative circling Kiwi Farms and Keffals is wrong. It is not the stories of downtrodden trans activists supported by righteous members of the media battling against an evil empire of militant Nazis and transphobes.
Is it not?
Rather, it's the tale of an internet bully given far too much power on a mission to seek fame and fortune by building a career in vicious conflict, born out of lies and disinformation.
Okay, so I think like the kernel of truth within this web of lies is that Keffals is edgy. Keffals and a lot of other leftists are kind of like abrasive. Is that the right word? They're aggressive, abrasive. What does that word even mean? Showing little concern for the feelings of others. Harsh. Yeah, that seems to describe them pretty well. Like when Keffals or like any of these lefties, when they think that someone is not worth debating, like when they're so sure that they're in the right, then they sort of like dismiss any arguments that they may have. They dismiss any like feeling or any feelings. They're very abrasive. They're very harsh. They're very they're rude and condescending and all that. And sometimes, yeah, that they could be like directed at the wrong targets, right? They could be point is that yeah, lefties can be rude sometimes, lefties can be unreasonable, but like that doesn't always mean that she's wrong. Doesn't always mean that they're wrong. And like their rudeness and abrasiveness can be directed at the wrong targets sometimes, but like doesn't mean that they're wrong necessarily. Anyway,
allowed ourselves to gaze into the abyss for far too long.
Gaze into the abyss. Keffals. I mean, yeah. So I'd like to hear the allegations, the actual allegations of of what Keffals lied about and the proof that she lied. Apparently there is proof.
In this exposition, I'm looking to upend the prevailing media narrative through establishing a clear record of truth with regard to these key points. Keffals' initial rise to fame was through internet bullying and lies, not through righteous activism. There is not enough evidence to support the claim that Kiwi Farms is bullying anyone to suicide.
What? I'm pretty sure there is plenty of proof that Kiwi Farms bullied or harassed several people into suicide. Wait, can we?
There is not enough evidence to support the claim that Kiwi Farms is bullying anyone to suicide.
I think there was plenty of evidence, and I think I went over that on my channel. Where is it?
Kiwi Farms was likely not even the main culprit behind most of Keffals' harassment. Keffals grossly misrepresented the events justifying her GoFundMe. And the do-it-yourself HRT directory, which had Keffals' full social and monetary support, engages in grossly irresponsible behavior with minors.
Oh yeah, I remember this, the DIY HRT thing. Honestly, do-it-yourself hormone therapy is kind of weird. Like you are like making hormones like with your like home chemistry set. That is kind of problematic, but like honestly it might be the best option for some trans people, right? Look at this. And in between then and now I figured out how to adjust my camera settings. Anyway, like if you need hormones, like if you're going to literally KYS with if you don't have hormones, if you're literally like, oh, I have to have hormones right now, or like my body dysphoria is gonna be so bad that like I'm gonna like have like severe mental health issues, then and like DIY hormones is the only way that you can get that, because like you live in a red state or your community or your family is like anti-trans, then I guess like DIY would be the best thing to do. I mean, this feeds into like the groomer allegations where it's like, oh, if you're providing trans people like the resources to be comfortable being trans or to the transition, just so you can, I don't know what, you can have more trans people around because you're just pro-trans because you're, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Again, it goes into like this lack of empathy or understanding for trans issues. It's like as if like the only reason someone would become trans is because they were groomed into it, where it's like, no, the whole point is like they're trans, is that they were born this way and they don't have any options. Do you not think that like if trans people could just choose to stop being trans, a lot of them would do that? I mean, being trans is hard. That's why like their suicide rate is so high. So this whole thing feeds into the grooming allegation, or like the grooming scare, where it's like, oh, you're actually like harming children by doing this, by like providing them the resources to transition. Honestly, yeah, the issue of DIY hormones is kind of I can understand why people would have a problem with it, but like I think if it's like the best option for trans people, and then like it's fine to like provide the resources for that. Anyway, the big thing is like there was no proof that Kiwi Farms bullies actually drove people to suicide. There is plenty of evidence. Kiwi Farms, and he said that most of the harassment was not from Kiwi Farms, it was from, I don't know who, some just random people. Wouldn't those people, is it not plausible that those people were at least like influenced by Kiwi Farms? Right? Seems totally plausible. Anyway, what was it? Near was one of the people who were bullied or harassed into suicide. by Kiwi Farms, and this is like a years-long campaign. This is like Chris Chan levels of just obsessive internet harassment. Anyway, 10-year-old trans child was so proud and confident that they ended up on the cover of National Geographic magazine, and it was the gender revolution, but within days we were doxxed on Kiwi Farms. And this is a whole Twitter thread about all the hardships that this 9-year-old trans child went through, and their mom went through. Yeah, 9 years old, guys, come on. And this is again another years-long campaign of harassment and doxing and abuse. And of course, they decided that their mom was a groomer pedophile, and that Avery would only be safe if they exposed our full name. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to make you safe by like doxing you and your mom and your parents and your family, because your mom is grooming you into being trans, and we have to separate you from your mom somehow, one way or another, to save you from being trans. Yeah, it's disgusting. We noticed cars stopping in front of our house in the middle of an ice storm. Imagine like just the sheer terror that must invoke in you. It's a pedophilia. Then all this like pedophilia accusation. This is what worries me about like the pedophilia stuff and the grooming accusation. It's like, if you actually believe that being gay or trans is the result of like groomer pedophiles like grooming children into it, then like that's like an ontologically evil thing. And like if that was actually true, then like you could justify all sorts of horrible acts to fix that. Like we've already seen like there have been hate crimes against gay and trans, like non-binary even teachers or figures. Like because like if you actually believe that like someone's being groomed into, a child is being groomed into like being a certain way or like doing sexual acts, and like yeah, that would be bad, but like they're using that to it's like whoever thought up this stuff is, yeah, whoever actually thought up this stuff is the real sicko here. Guys here. Anyway, we went to the local police. They sent us to the FBI cybercrimes unit. They contacted federal district attorneys. People started investigating. They wanted help, but they kept running into dead ends. Yeah, there's only so much like law enforcement can do when it comes to like online harassment, right? They can go after like individual harassers, maybe like if I don't know, somebody's stalking you in public or like IRL, then they can get a restraining order for that person. If someone like calls or texts or like doxes you even, or is like leaving like threatening messages for you, that would be another thing. But like if someone doxes you, like what do you do? Like if they can't be tracked down on the internet, how do you protect them? Like you have to take down like their website where they do all this organizing, or else what are you going to do? Build relationships with people who would name them. Just mention the name. Avery is 15 now. More than a third of Avery's life has been lived in the shadows of Kiwi Farms terrorism. My bright and confident kid withered away, decided that being a proud and public trans kid ruined their life, and didn't even want to acknowledge being trans anymore. This is terrible. This is terrible shit. Like, yeah. And now, basically, this thread is like, oh, finally, Kiwi Farms has gone this great evil force that's been ruining my life and my child's life for years now. Imagine, the ages of 9 years old to 15 is like so formative. That's more than a third of your life. It's like such a big part of your life, and you live that part of your life in terror. That's sick. Yeah, these people are the real sickos. So I'm going to get my kid back. That's it. That's the point of the thread. I'm going to get my bright, shining, competent, fitted, and happy kid back. That's good. That's great. Yeah, that's the good that Kiwi Farms does. I mean, good that getting rid of Kiwi Farms does. And of course, Near was the internet name of the other trans person who was like doxxed and harassed over the course of several years until they just finally decided to end it all because I thought that was like the only option for them. So anyway, like the idea that like Kiwi Farms harassing people is not a big deal, or they don't harass people to suicide, yeah, it happens.
The Ascension of Clara Sorrenti.
The Ascension.
Clara Sorrenti, better known online as Keffals, is a Twitch TV streamer, avid Twitter user. She's known a bit for her trans activism,
Twitter
a lot
user,
for her
yeah.
aggressive brigading against social and political targets on Twitter.
Aggressive brigade. Her ratios, you mean? Oh yeah, it's so aggressive the way she ratios people. Yeah, she's so mean, guys. Why does she have to ratio people so much? Like, come on. But hey, ratios work, right? Ratios, how you establish dominance over your political opponents. It's how you remind them, like, hey, you are unpopular or you're outnumbered, right? Yeah, I'm just looking at Andrew Tate debates Sneeko. Is Andrew Tate like still around? Okay, cool.
Short stint in real-life politics, Sorrenti began her online career in March of 2020 on Twitch TV, just a handful of viewers, streaming games such as Raft, Valheim, and Fallout New Vegas. A wave of anti-trans legislation sweeping through the United States inspired her to switch her streaming content over to focus on politics, with her eventually raising over $200,000 for the campaign for Southern Equality to protect trans youth.
Sounds good. Good so far.
She now regularly streams over 1,000 concurrent viewers, even on her alternate accounts to get past through later if you want. Twitter.
Ratio.
I don't know if I need to click like every link to prove this. I'll sometimes even on her alternate accounts to get past blacks by ratioing them on Twitter. I don't know if I need to click like every link to prove this. I'll sometimes even on her alternate accounts to get past blacks by ratioing them on Twitter.
Oh, that's sick. That's I've always wanted to ratio Ted Cruz.
Directing her Twitch TV.
Oh, did she actually ratio Elon Musk?
Sorrenti made a name for herself on social media by directing her Twitch TV chat to brigade targets, sometimes even on her alternate accounts to get past blacks by ratioing them on
targets.
Twitter. I don't know if I need to click like every link to prove it.
Can someone tag me in a reply so I can ratio him? He blocked both of my accounts. Oh, this is him ratioing Destiny being ratioed. Yeah, him being ratioed by Destiny, by Keffals. Goddammit. Yeah, is this what this is all about? Destiny, you're upset that Keffals ratioed you on Twitter? Like, come on. Now, users like any are weaponizing Wikipedia by adding false allegations to their user pages. Also, Keffals' backup is harassing me on Twitter after I've already blocked their main account. Yeah. Again, what harassment is being done here? I mean, yeah, directing your followers to like, I don't know, argue in the QRTs in the replies. I mean, that's just like just online activism, you know? What was wrong with that?
I'll publish this afterwards so you guys can dig through.
Lots of ratios. That's a lot.
Ratioing.
This is an impressive resume. Good job, Keffals. You've added another ratio to your list.
When a Twitter user interacts with another user's tweets, either through a direct comment or a quote tweet, surpasses the original tweet in likes and engagement.
He's explaining what a ratio is. Okay, boomer.
Sorrenti's Twitter behavior typically involves her streaming her interactions with conservative or anti-trans individuals on Twitter, encouraging her audience to engage in bullying or harassment against whoever she set her sights on.
Bullying and harassment. Again, being mean on Twitter is bullying. I mean, maybe it's bullying, but like maybe it's for a good cause, like, right? Again, like bullying, depends on what you mean by that, but like, if it's directed at the right targets, if it's directed at like people who seek to cause harm to trans people by like spreading these allegations of like, oh, trans people are groomers, etc., it's sort of maybe justified. I mean, in a utilitarian sense, if you bully them into silence, then they will do less harm. So, yeah, I mean, you could do the utilitarian calculus, like, is it worth it to bully this person? mean, maybe. Again, like, when like these radical lefties get out of hand, they might like direct their anger and their bullying towards like the wrong targets. But I've yet to see that from Keffals. Well, not exactly.
Sometimes even asking other larger creators for assistance.
Hey Hasanabi, can you help me ratio this transphobic pundit? I mean, yeah. If you're ratioing, if all you're doing is ratioing transphobic people on Twitter, then like, yeah, what's the problem with that? You're not harassing people. Harassing is what Kiwi Farms does when you dox people and like harass them IRL, not just online. Like it's one thing like if you're being like constantly like replied to on Twitter with like, oh, you're a transphobe, you should shut up, you should delete your account. I mean, if that's bullying to you, then like grow a thicker skin. Like literally, cyberbullying is not real. Just turn off your computer. Literally. Like if you think that's harassment, then you don't know what harassment is, sweetie. You have never heard of Kiwi Farms, probably.
On March 22nd, she set her sights on Ian Miles Chong, an active anti-SJW, famous from before the days of Gamergate.
Okay, well, that guy should get ratioed.
For hours, Sareki would go back and forth with Ian on Twitter while coordinating the brigading
Look at this dude
on her Twitch stream. At approximately 8:50 p.m. UTC, her Twitch stream would get hate raided or brigaded by a group of malicious chatters after she spent most of her stream fighting with transphobes on Twitter. A moderator of Keffals, Sulio, a Twitch user who has urged other streamers to cut ties with me in the past, would eventually blame my community for this. How ironic. This is something the amount of like stupid shit I never wanted to know in terms of stuff I've been reading about every night over the last 2 weeks. The funny thing is the source of all of this conflict, the source of everything starting between me and Keffals, started because Sulio was the one in chat.
Sulio.
Who was the one who actually
You figured out why we were hate rated earlier?
Is Sulio a Destiny fan? I mean, seems like there is some element within Destiny's community that is transphobic. We'll see that on Twitter later.
Happened.
But like the idea that like, oh, there's Destiny and does not weaponize his community against his political opponents or his regular opponents, not even political opponents. It totally does happen. We've seen on subreddits like Destiny fans like pretending to be fans of the other person, being like, hey, I'm really concerned about where this is going. Just like concern trolling all the time.
It was Sulio was the first one that pointed it out. What the fuck are the chances?
Was it actually Sulio?
At 10:56 p.m. UTC, over 2 hours after the raid. Give context for those who don't know.
Okay, so our DMs. It says DMs
it's a whole video
and addresses all allegations.
This is a guy who, I guess if you didn't know him, there was another streamer that I used to talk to called Hutch, and this is a guy that
and her being arrested.
When I went into the hallway,
oh, this is the interview.
Saw that assault rifle, I screamed and I thought I was going to die.
On a September 15th.
I mean, yeah, if you're having an assault rifle pointed at you, is that what happens? They were pointing it at her? Yeah, that would be terrifying. Like
in stream, she says.
So, one of the last things that I want to address before I get into the actual policy proposal. People were trying to say this was not swatting because they did not do a dynamic entry, meaning they didn't break down the door and rush in, which I never said they did. They did not go into my apartment until after I was in custody, and they had a search warrant signed.
But then they also say, she also says, and this is her fiance Alan, or ex-fiance now, I guess.
We had to go inside the apartment, like in our front foyer, almost right to our bedroom door, and they yelled at Clara while she was in bed. So she got up. They were saying, Clara Sorrenti. Nope, they did not use her dead name at this point either. They said, Clara Sorrenti, we know you're in there. Come out with your hands up.
Yeah.
And she had been totally asleep. She got up and came out of the bedroom door frame, and at that point, she saw a rifle pointed at her. She had been awake she was woken by the barking orders of a police officer.
Yeah.
So it went from, I was woken up by London police services pointing an assault rifle at my face, to, well, I went into the hallway and saw an assault rifle, to, well, okay, they did the powerful knock, they pulled my fiance out, then they came in, then they shouted at my door, then I got up, I think she says in another video, she gets up, she puts on her PJs, and then she goes to the door. A little bit.
Does it really matter? Does it really matter whether she was woken up by Okay, so maybe she like misspoke or like said the wrong thing. Like, either way, what's the point of like nitpicking her words like this? Like, are you saying like she did not? She definitely did get swatted, but like, are you saying that she's playing up the swatting, like making it sound worse than it is? I mean, it's already pretty bad. She doesn't have to make it worse than it actually is. Like, she said she was. So she said she was woken up by having a gun pointed at her in her face, but then it turns out the gun was outside of her bedroom, and they let her like come out of the bedroom, and then they pointed guns at her. That's also pretty bad.
It quite different from the original claim of like I woke up and I think there was an assault rifle in my face. There's another claim.
Okay, she was woken up by a person with an assault rifle. I think that's like. Okay, yeah, that's really like what's the point here? Like, she said she was woken up by with an assault rifle pointed in her face. Maybe that was just like a little bit hyperbolic, maybe, but like who cares? It doesn't matter.
I'm in this stream from Alex, Serenity's ex-fiance. I'm pretty sure she tweeted that they broke up. I think that was a tweet, right? Where Alex said that they saw lasers from rifles trained at the front door. When I mentioned this on stream,
And so, yes, I opened the door after they had banged on it. And as soon as I opened the door, they had bound it with a rope, so it could only be opened a little bit. But I saw lasers from rifles trained on the front of the door.
I literally had 5+ law enforcement, and I think one military guy emailed me and said that there's 0% chance that anybody would be using lasers in any daylight environment ever for any law enforcement. I don't know if that's true.
What?
I tried to source this. Somebody sent me pictures of the London, Ontario Police Force. There are no lasers on their rifles. I don't know how to even begin to prove a claim like that, but the explanation I was given was that lasers are very rarely sometimes used in night operations for military, and they're going to be lasers that you can't see. They're only going to show up on like infrared or something. And the second thing would be that any laser that would work in the daytime would be so fucking bright that it would literally blind people. It'd be too much of a light light. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't include it here because of that. I don't know how I can verify that, but.
Oh, you don't know if it's true? I mean, it's possible that they use lasers, but like, what's the point? Like, what? Why would they even lie about that? Like, what's the point of lying about that if it's even a lie? Are you saying that it's a lie? I mean, they literally had like. I imagine that they did have guns like out. I mean, the claim was that she was doxxed by someone who said that she had a gun and that she was dangerous and that she was insane and she was going to kill people. So it's totally reasonable if the police believe that to have their guns drawn as they are trying to like enter this apartment and get her out of there, right? I mean maybe they did have lasers. Is it not uncommon to have lasers? I mean, just a laser sight, just to see like where your gun's pointing. It's not like totally out of the question, right? Yeah, why would they even lie about that? What's the point?
Wake her with a rifle pointed 3 inches from her face, but essentially as soon as she woke up,
So someone did not wake her with a rifle pointed 3 inches from her face. Right after.
Okay. Like, what's the difference? Like, literally, there is a tiny bit of difference, but like. Maybe she was being a little bit hyperbolic by saying that she was woken up by having an assault rifle being pointed in her face. I mean, she was woken up by someone with an assault rifle shouting at her. Then she walked out of the room. Then she had the assault rifle pointed at her face. So it's not much of a difference there.
It's also claimed they had a gun directly pointed at her within seconds of waking up, but that she also had time to put on some pajamas that were on the floor before she exited her bedroom. So that's where the claim was finally walked towards from the original claim of, I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle at my face.
Okay.
The station under my dead name. The police, when talking to my mother, referred to me as her son.
During the arrest, the police officer referred to me by my dead name as her son.
Yeah, that's fucked
On the
up.
August 11th police statement, the chief said, at no time while she was in our holding cells did members of our police services address Ms. Sorrenti by her dead name. On the September 15th stream, Alex, her fiance, says...
they actually had to go inside the apartment, like in our front foyer, almost right to our bedroom door, and they yelled at Clara while she was in bed. So she got up. They were saying, Clara Sorrenti. No, they did not use her dead name at this point either. They said, Clara Sorrenti, we know you're in there. Come out with your hands up.
Okay, so do you really trust the police more than you trust Keffals? That's the issue here. Like, of course the police are going to say, oh, of course we didn't dead name anyone. But wasn't there literally legislation written in Canada or like in the city in Toronto, was it? That like, oh, you now when trans people are arrested, you can't dead name them, like, or like when trans people are swatted, you can't dead name them no matter what. Honestly, ideally, you would pass a law like preventing people from being swatted in the first place, but no, it was just like you can't detonate people. If all of these claims were like totally fabricated, would not the government of Toronto take a notice of that? Why are they like writing legislation about it if it's not a real thing?
Alex says in the initial breach that they didn't use her dead name. Later on, Serenity would say,
The allegations as to how Ms. Serenity was addressed during her time in London police custody, using an incorrect name, her dead name, and gender. It's important that he said, well, I cannot confirm any conversation which might transpire during Ms. Serenity's initial arrest. And that's when it happened. The activity in the holding cell is monitored. And I never made a statement about any bad things that happened while I was in custody.
Oh.
I would absolutely assume that when the police know that these things are being recorded and can be part of public record, they would be more careful with how they go about their business.
notice the implication when they know they're being recorded and act properly. But Alex said early when they initially breached, they didn't use her dead name. Her original claim.
I was booked in the station under my dead name.
She said she was booked in her station under her dead name. Again, the police chief said, at no time while she was in our holding cells did members of our police services address Ms. Serenity by her dead name and gender.
I mean, being addressed by your dead name is different from being booked under your dead name. Again, like the person who like called in this this SWAT on her like referred to her as her dead name. So maybe there was some confusion about like what her name actually was, you know. Maybe they did not like. Maybe like the person who was like booking her in like thought that her name was something different.
The activity in the holding cells is monitored.
I mean, why are they nitpicking this? Like her words like this, like oh, you can't prove that they ever actually dead named you. Like, are you saying like that she's like playing up this situation just for like sympathy points? Like, it's already pretty bad.
And I never made a statement about any bad things that happened while I was in custody.
So she says that nothing bad happened while she was in custody, but she literally said,
I was booked in the station under my dead name. The police, when talking about her, referred to me as her son. This is despite the fact that I have run as both a member of parliament.
she said she was booked under her dead name. So I guess part of the confusion is, I don't know where she was actually dead named at, because Alex and her seem to agree that when the police initially breached, no dead name was used.
She said that the police talking to her mother referred to Keffals as her son. So that's a form of dead naming. That's not exactly dead naming, but it's implying that like, oh, it's invalidating their gender, right? That's the issue here.
And then when she was in holding, she said that while I was in custody, no dead name was used. She wasn't booked under her dead name, I don't believe. So even though she's saying she was booked in the station under her dead name, she also says, I've never made any statement about bad things that happened while I was in custody. I don't know, kind of weird. Original claim.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how you're going through this and just saying, this is kind of weird, just like nitpicking like all this data and being like, and like drawing some conclusions, some I mean, right? It's like, oh, you can't prove that you were dead named, whereas like, did he prove that like she was not booked under her dead name? Was that proven at any point? Because that's the claim that she actually made.
The fact that a fake email led to London police services booking me under my dead name
Fake
reveals
email.
the prejudice that many police have towards transgender people. This is despite the fact that the email contained my...
Honestly, maybe that was just like a bit of confusion, right? Like, oh, what is this person Clara or is this person their dead name? Like, maybe there was I mean, if she legally had her name changed, right, to Clara, why wouldn't they book her under that name? It's yeah, if they did actually book her under that name, then that would be yeah, an indictment against them. But like, yeah, can we actually get a source on that? Can like we prove like what she was like what name she was booked under?
my real name before ever even mentioning my dead name. This is one of the property bags returned to me after I was released from custody. All of the property bags returned to me have Roberts written on them. Roberts was my last name until...
So here's something that I don't know if I want to split hairs on this or not, because it just...
I mean, that's like hard evidence. That's proof, unless you're saying that she wrote Roberts on the bag after she received it.
feels like people are gonna like quibble over it. I don't know if I would consider an ex last name to be the same thing for a trans person as a dead name. I don't know if I'm buying that one.
An ex last name? I mean, it kind of is. I mean, it's your name from before you changed your name, like after you transitioned. I mean,
Typically, when we talk about trans people, a dead name usually refers to a prior first name that is highly gendered, that would have been gendered in a way that was opposite of that person's sexual identity. So, and I didn't catch this until after I'd gone back and watched these videos, because obviously, if you see a bag with evidence written on it, it's like, oh, that's pretty shitty. She's getting dead name. They're calling her Roberts. Roberts was not her first name. Roberts was her father's last name, and she had until she changed her last name to her mother's last name, Sorrenti. Roberts was not her first name, dead name. I could not find any evidence anywhere ever, and she's welcome to dispute this, of anybody ever calling her Lucas or writing this on anything. I couldn't find that information.
oh, they muted out Lucas. Uh-oh, I said it. They muted that out because that's her dead name, and it's like, oh, you can't say it even if you're referring to the dead name itself. You have to mute it out. That's kind of a, I guess dead naming is a very sensitive topic. But I mean, it might not be like the dead naming in like the strictest sense of the term, but it is still like you're right. It's the wrong name. Like she does not have that name anymore, right? She changed her name legally to Sorrenti, and it's no longer Roberts. So like, why are you writing like Roberts on the bag, right? Like they're not going. Maybe they're not going to write her full name. Maybe they were only going to write her last name. So she like, maybe if it was protocol to write the whole name, they would have wrote Lucas Roberts. Is that the name? They would have written her full dead name. Like, it is very quibbling to say, oh, it's not dead naming if it's just your last name, right? Also, like, yeah, what does Destiny know about dead naming? I mean, it is very nitpicky to say like, oh, you're only dead naming if you use the first name. Yeah, I mean, it is different, sure. Your last name is like more of a family relationship thing, but like, she did change her name. Like, why are you writing? They're writing the wrong name on the bag, right? So why are they doing that? Is it just a confusion? Is it just like because the fake email referred to Clara as Roberts? Yeah, it's maybe there was just confusion, or like maybe it was actually malicious. Why would they do that?
So anytime she refers to her dead name, she's talking about them using her prior last name, not a prior male first name. I can't find any evidence she was ever referred to as or dead named at any point, honestly, besides the evidence bags. But
okay, but I mean that is kind of a different kind of dead naming, but it is still like you're using the wrong name. It's like yeah, and it's like, why would you not maybe Clara is using dead naming in like the looser sense of the term, like, oh, they're invalidating my gender identity. Maybe I'm being a little charitable to her there, but like maybe they did dead name her. Like, maybe they did name. She said that, oh, they wouldn't dead name her while they were on camera, while they were being recorded. Maybe they called her by her dead name like while they weren't being recorded, because they're not always on camera 24/7. Like, I assume like they probably turn off their body cameras when they're inside the station, right? At least sometimes, like when they're doing interrogations or whatever, or when they're just talking to her, because like I assume like interrogations will be recorded, but it's totally possible that like they weren't being recorded all the time and they did name her while they weren't being recorded, right? Again, it's all this like nitpicking, like the details of like, was she actually dead named or was she not? Like, why would she lie about that? Just to play up her victimhood? I mean, it's pretty. She is already a victim. She doesn't have to play it up too much.
Sorrenti says, the only reason Roberts is on my property bag is because I was booked under my dead name. Police statement on August 11th. The reference to Ms. Sorrenti's former name appears to stem from the existence of prior police reports. When an individual comes into contact with police for whatever reason, an entry is made into a records management system using the name provided at this time.
Oh, so she was booked by the police like before she began transitioning, before she changed her name. Yeah, that would lead to some confusion. It is still bad though. It is still wrong to use the dead name. Honestly, like if it's the result of like some confusion, then that's a different scenario. But still, Yeah, not good.
Note, dead naming typically refers to using a prior name for trans person a trans person has that is generally associated with their gender assigned at birth. Her former first name was not original claim.
Okay,
Because of the
original
negligence
swatting
of the
claims.
police, we were both left functionally unemployed, and I have spent thousands of dollars replacing our computers and cell phones, so our lives aren't completely destroyed by what. I started
Stuff back a few days later. Everything. On September 7th, a message leaked from a conversation with her threatening to blackmail a Kiwi Friends user, stating that, oh, and then here she says, my GoFundMe money is sitting in a savings account. Now she says that all of this is a troll, but... On September 9th, she says...
I mean, that's the other big allegation, is that all the GoFundMe, like the over $100,000 she raised, is not being used the way that she said it was going to be used, by like suing the police department. Honestly, and like there's no like proof that she's actually going to sue the police department, right? First of all, like what proof do you think she's going to provide? Like, do you think she's going to like give you the lawsuit papers once she files a lawsuit? Like what actually evidence do you think they're going to get? We'll get into that.
I eventually got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology from the chief of police. So yeah, that was really nice.
That's nice.
Not nice
Sure.
how they responded to the situation, but I'll take it.
And in a leaked series of Twitter circle tweets, Keffals reveals that she's using the money to travel around Europe and then returning to Canada after. These were apparently can make private tweets in your account only your circle can see, but she accidentally had this up on stream. I cannot wait to get my new apartment as a studio. I'm staying in Ireland until the 27th, then I'm heading to Spain until the 11th. I get my apartment on the 12th. I guess a nice European vacation, but...
Well, she's going to Europe so she can avoid being swatted and doxxed, right? Honestly, why is she sharing her location? If she's worried about being doxxed, shouldn't you, like, I don't know, like go to some country without telling people what country you're going to? I mean, that just makes sense, right? If they don't even know what country you're in, how are they going to dox you? Right? It is kind of weird, but like it does make sense that you're moving to different countries. It's not a vacation, right? I would imagine that she's doing this out of necessity.
I would also like to bring attention to the impossible level of detail that her fiancé Alex on their September 15th stream seems to give regarding her arrest, despite the fact that, by their own admission, they were outside of the apartment because they were forced to wait in the hallway while all of this was happening. This is like a little JCSing, but one of the things that people give like a high level of detail about an event makes me sus sometimes. It's very strange that Alex is brought in basically to talk about, well, what did you see happen during my swatting, basically?
And so I had to wait in the hallway, and I knew immediately what this was about because it had happened only a few weeks prior in Toronto. And I tried to tell them this, but there was no conveying that. And so they went to go get Clara, and I told them, she's asleep right now. She sleeps like a bag of bricks. You know, you're not going to get her up.
Oh,
So they were forced to wait out in the hallway. So keep in mind that Alex is out in the hallway the entire time that all of this is happening, okay?
They actually had to go inside the apartment, like in our front foyer, almost right to our bedroom door, and they yelled at Clara while she was in bed. So she got up. They were saying, Clara Sorrenti. Note that they did not use her dead name at this point either. They said, Clara Sorrenti, we know you're in there. Come out with your hands up. And totally asleep, she got up and came out of the bedroom door frame. And at that point, she saw a rifle pointed at her. She had been awake by barking orders of a police officer. And at that point, she saw a rifle pointed at her. She had been awake she was woken by the barking orders of a police officer.
Woke. Yeah.
Only had a gun pointed right at her.
There are all these emotes in Destiny's chat, like, I don't know, his community is so insular, they have their own jokes within jokes. Like, can I even see what that emote's supposed to be?
They were graceful enough to allow that.
Oh, I think that's
A pair of pajamas that was like on the floor before I could even go out to see the police officers.
They were
That's
graceful enough to allow that. But yes, they most certainly had a gun pointed right at her within seconds of getting up. Fully taken by surprise, and I knew she would be.
Yeah.
And she screamed.
So it's just like a little tiny bit hyperbolic to say she was literally woken up by having a gun pointed in her face. Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty bad. It's like not so different.
And in that split second, I was like praying in my heart, please don't shoot her. Because she was, she jumped, she was making a sudden move, and I was like, please, no.
So just to reread these quotes, they actually had to go inside. Oh, and then also, if my stream gets taken down, I'll be back whenever.
Oh yeah, it would be pretty cool if her stream just got his stream just got taken down. Yeah. I misgendered.
Any, the same. This is the same person that was trying to vandalize my Wikipedia article. I don't think I banned
on Vouch's
in Vouch's chat trying to spam report my stream. It's kind of funny that in the course of all this, I kind of wanted to think about how.
I mean, maybe you should report the stream, right? Report hateful or abusive content. I mean, if you actually did dead name, right? That Lucas refers to the dead name of a trans person. I mean, it is. I don't know. The politics of like misgendering or like dead naming is kind of touchy. Like, if you use the person's dead name while you're talking about the process of her being dead named, that would be, I don't know. It's kind of like using the N-word or like using the word retard, or like when you're like talking about like the etymology of the word or like how the word is used in the context of in like everyday conversation, right? But like you don't have to use the dead name, right? You don't have to use the word Lucas. Oh no, I'm doing it now. But like I mean, it's like if you don't want to be reported, like why are you even using the name? Like you can't just say like, oh, her dead name instead of actually saying the dead name. Like, why are you saying it?
I wanted to approach some of these people on Twitter. Keffals is actually using she has been banned from Twitter, so she can theoretically be reported for the same thing as me, but I decided against like doing spam report shit, because I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, apparently they're very, 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 very upset in a Vouch's chat, so she's trying to lead the way. Vandalize my Wikipedia article wasn't enough.
This a Vouch.
But yeah. Anyways, so rewinding back to this. So these are the statements that Alex made while he was in the hallway. They actually had to go inside the apartment, like in our front foyer, almost right to our bedroom door, and they yelled at Clara while she was in bed, so she got up. The barking.
Okay, this is boring. Can I get to ask some actual meat? Is there
His friend Ellen had already been doxxed months earlier on May 16th, so it was no surprise that Kiwi Farms quickly figured out who she was living with and where she was. I think this is her first drink. This is Ellen's docs being posted, I think. I don't know why we even included a screenshot of this, but
okay.
Good job. On August 26th, Sorrenti's new docs is posted to website 0, a website she is aware of but still is yet to mention. It's important to note that Kiwi Farms went down from August 26th to August 29th. A few days later, on August 29th, Sorrenti claimed that a Kiwi Farms user had identified her location and threatened to show up the next morning, despite knowing the site had been down for the past 3 days. She also claimed to have identified the user and forwarded their information to the police, Kiwi Farms. In fact, she already knew he was from 4chan and the Foodistan community. She literally posted the 4chan thread in one of her tweets. This is further compounded by the fact that this user chose to post the note on 4chan on August 30th, when Kiwi Farms was fully operational and could have posted it there instead. This is where she claims it was a Kiwi Farms user who identified her location in Ireland and threatened to show her address at 9 a.m., etc., etc.
Okay, I don't know if I want to keep watching this, man. This is like how much time have I wasted watching this? Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it seems like just nitpicking the details of like, oh, what were they was her partner actually able to see her as she walked out of her bedroom if they were forced to wait outside? It's like, it's possible. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, what are you trying to say by like nitpicking all of these details? Like, are you trying to say that like why would they lie about this? Like, they're going over this in very big detail. Like I don't. You're saying that they're playing it up just to like be more of a victim. It's really weird. It's like it's
The individual. This is the person, the teddy person that was 6. Bathtub hormone. We'll work together to promote the do-it-yourself hormone replacement therapy directory, a wiki that has been the subject to much mystery and controversy over the past few months. There have been many claims made about improper behavior and questionable services offered by the do-it-yourself HRT directory. After some thorough investigation, I'm able to offer a bit more insight into some of the problems that exist with this service. Before I dive too deeply into this, however, I would like to reaffirm that I am a strong believer in making safe access to hormones and other appropriate medical interventions available to trans people who need them, including minors. We must be cautious, however, when we allow questionable individuals with shady histories and deceitful messaging to be the people illicitly offering these treatments online, especially when it may harm the minors in question. Firstly, it's important to recognize that Sorrenti was a big supporter of the DIY HRT directory. Sorrenti began supporting the directory in June 26th of 2022, tweeting that she is donating thousands of dollars a year to the website so people can access hormone replacement therapy before the age of 18. And follows it with another tweet saying that she will never back down. Chloe acknowledges and thanks Sorrenti for the sponsorship. I am donating thousands of dollars a year to a resource so people affected by hysterical anti-trans laws can access hormone replacement therapy before the age of 18. I do not give a single shit what you think.
I mean, that sounds based, right? Yeah. You gotta like, you have to like have some way to like get around these insane anti-trans laws that says like, oh, you can't do hormone therapy on a minor, but like by minors they mean like 16 or 15-year-olds. or like, it's like, if they're that old, they should be old enough to, like, I don't know, start doing hormone therapy, or at least do puberty blockers, right? Societies create age of consent laws for good reasons. Under 18 is too young for permanent life-altering medical decisions. Well, yeah, this gets into the whole trans argument. It's like you want to start doing hormone therapy as early as you possibly can, because transitioning is important, or not going through the puberty that you don't want to go through is important, right? That's why you have to at least have puberty blockers, so you can wait until you're at a certain age, or you're old enough, whatever that means, to start doing hormone therapy. So anyone who encourages otherwise is a groomer, or much worse than a groomer. You're saying they're a pedo? I mean, yeah, under 18 is too young for permanent life-altering medical decisions. I mean, it's also too young to, like, suffer from gender dysphoria, right? Like, who are you to decide that someone is too young to take hormone therapy? I mean, again, this goes into, like, people are being pressured into being trans. Nobody's being pressured into, like, taking hormone therapy, right? That's kind of a big deal. Like you're not. It's not like, oh, you're not sure if you want to do hormones or not, and you're like, if you're at the point where you're considering like medically transitioning, then like you got to be pretty sure that you're trans, right? At that point, like you're trans as hell. Like, if you know by the time that you were like a child that you're trans, then like you're not going to change your mind. Again, there's this whole myth of like the detransitioning, and like people regret transitioning, so they have to like go back on it. Apparently, like, that does happen, and it's not like it doesn't happen, but a lot of the cases where it does happen, it's because like they face a lot of social pressure to detransition. Like, they think that they made the wrong decision because they were pressured into it from the other side, right? By people like transphobes, or people who don't who think that they're doing the wrong thing, and they don't really believe that being trans is a thing. They pressure them into detransitioning. That's one reason, or that they transitioning is expensive, right? Hormone therapy is expensive. So it's possible that they just don't have the resources to continue transitioning, unfortunately. That does happen.
Nor will I ever back down.
Okay, cool. Okay.
If you guys are wondering why she did back down a few days ago, you're about to find out why.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Thank you, Keffals, for your support for our project. Me and the team give our thanks.
So
For
she did
14th
back
stream,
down.
she says that she stands by supporting the DIY HRT directory, compares it to AOC supporting abortion drugs.
I'm glad how well this went. Literally the same thing. When the state steps in and says this piece of healthcare is illegal, the community should absolutely step up and find a way to provide that.
Okay, is that a female soy jack in the chat? Okay.
I'm glad how well this went because
Up until September 19th, Sorrenti had a link to the DIY HRT directory on her website at keffals.g. You can type in chat
Okay,
as well.
so what happens?
Stream.
What happens?
Interesting. There's all links being posted to it. Add the command !DIY with applies to all the information you need to be. Did she use your open source website too? Of course she did. I believe that link is still available today, although they might have taken. As a final side note, Sorrenti and Chloe have a long history of friendship with one another. These people have. This is just like to the tip.
Okay, yeah, they're friends.
On September 9th, Sorrenti was invited as a guest on the
Peoples.
H3H3 podcast and was questioned about the DIY. Sorrenti was invited as a lies about the site itself. The original claims is just ask Sorrenti where they do the DIY HRT directory promotion. Sorrenti claims it's just a Twitch stream open and in the public.
Okay.
I mean, some of them do actually have the support of their families, but some of them don't. Like, some of them are in like really fundamentalist Christian households, and the only place they really feel safe talking about being trans is on the internet.
Yeah.
And so where do you guys do this? Is it like a Discord or something, or like a community?
I was like a Twitch stream.
Oh, just on Twitch?
Yeah.
So it's all just out in the public?
Yeah.
Is it not
Because
on a
they
Discord
make me sound like
somewhere?
you have some kind of secret or some community spot that's not publicly seen where you're talking with kids and stuff, but that's not even the case.
No.
A few minutes later.
I want to give you an opportunity to talk about this because there's people who are pointing this out, that on your website, Keffals.gg, you'll have a link here that says do it DIY HRT.
Yeah.
That is kind of.
So it's a website where people can learn about DIY hormones. Basically, I mean, some.
Later on in the same show, she's pushed to admit that there is.
Oh, you just cut her off there. Okay, cool. Yeah, doing DIY HRT. Yeah, again, seems kind of like risky. Of course, it is risky, but like, if it's the only option for someone who desperately needs HRT and they can't get it any other way, then maybe it will be good.
This is a separate directory she links to from her own website. I don't believe she ever brings up anything.
So what's the
And
claim?
they also say didn't have access to hormones. You were direct telling them how to make homemade hormones.
Oh my god. No, I don't know how to make homemade hormones. I noticed the new thing is they're saying that I'm teaching people how to make hormones in their bathtub, which just sounds insane.
While it sounds like an extreme claim, Chloe, one of the co-founders of the site, has actually given tips on brewing testosterone and estrogen in a bathtub, as well as making several jokes and references to doing so. She's also referenced minors and pink pilling, the act of convincing someone they're trans, on multiple occasions as well. These are a lot of old posts by her on Twitter and in Discord.
Peak tailing.
Transphobic parents doesn't provide child opportunities to get on legit HRT. Surprised the child is self-medicating. Chloe, pink pilling minors is based, actually. They reach
Pink pilling minors. If they reach out and express
desire for HRT. Chloe, I unironically pink pilled like half a dozen minors. By pink pill, I mean pointing them to HRT resources after they reach out. Best case against do-it-yourself, but people against
Okay, maybe they're being a little bit edgy here. It's like pink pill, I mean point them like of course I mean after they reach out. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of sussy, but like it's nothing on its own, right? It's like if by pink pilling, yeah, you're not like convincing people to just be trans just out of the blue. It's like people who like reach out and like actually express it. Yeah.
Why you don't know that T is literally a steroid? No one tell him I've helped more than one minor or ...
Best case against DIY.
Against do-it-yourself, but people against DIY who don't know that T is literally a steroid.
I mean, testosterone is a steroid, maybe, but like, no one tell him I've helped more.
No one tell him I've helped more than one minor or ...
What?
Pretend to be me in the replies.
What does
I
that
just got a
mean?
triple-digit number of people access to necessarily medical care last weekend. This is just true, though. Was I supposed to say something like, I groomed a Discord full of minors into being trans and sold them bathtub estrogen laced with meth? This is also true.
This is also true. Yeah, well, that's okay. That's just them being edgy. Okay, that's just them being like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm a groomer, whatever. You keep calling me a groomer? Sure, I'm a groomer. Well, fine.
Random weird things. I will pay someone to do my estrogen shot. Somebody asks in
I'll pay someone to do my estrogen shot.
Somebody asked this question of, when making bathtub tea or E as well, what are the best ways to make sure it doesn't get contaminated from my tub? Flow hood, depyrogenation, microfiltration, etc.
I need help with my monstrously large penis. I need a cummy connoisseur. Okay. They're being a little edgy. Okay, it's nothing solid so far.
Etc. Here's a list of bathtub estrogen collage, different chemicals that they ordered to mix and stuff. We'll get more into this later, though. Okay. You mean you inject estrogen cooked up in some compressed granulous bathtub directly into your carotid every other.
You inject estrogen depressed transness bathtub directly into your carotid every other day. Okay, again, could be edgy, could just be being a little sussy baka.
Yes. Point of view, your bathtub estrogen dealers here to force value, etc., etc. I don't groom children to show dozens of kids every week how to buy bathtub estrogen with cryptocurrency and how to hide it from their parents. What are you talking?
Just show dozens of kids every week how to buy bathtub estrogen with cryptocurrency. Are you buying it with cryptocurrency? That's the sussy. That's the weirdest part here.
About. It's okay, I've unironically helped like half a dozen minors acquire bathtub estrogen with LeMayo. DM Chloe immediately ordered bathtub estrogen from her cool friends and clown on endocrinologist.
Clown on endocrinologist. Okay, it seems like bathtub estrogen is just like a meme now. It's I mean, why would you make it in your bathtub? I mean, doing it in a bathtub like kind of implies that you're like making huge quantities of it. It kind of sounds like you're brewing alcohol like during Prohibition, right? It's like a prohibited substance, right? That you're cooking up in your bathtub. That did happen. Like during Prohibition, they would brew booze in their bathtub, and it would be all tainted with various chemicals. It would be poison. It would be like it would take out a bunch of people, right? So that's sort of what it's referencing, right? Why, like, if it's coming in little vials, like you, that's not a big enough quantity to even fill a bathtub, right? Like, it doesn't even make sense to do it in a bathtub, right? It seems like, yeah, bathtub estrogen is just a funny way of saying like DIY, because yeah, it's the idea of doing it in a bathtub is silly in and of itself, so it's kind of a meme, right?
More into that. Maybe it's just memes.
Maybe it's just, oh, so he admits it. He says like, oh, maybe it's just memes. Maybe it's whatever. Okay, we're going to get to something solid here.
If Serenity has gone on the record claiming that she supports the direct way sports minors using it to acquire hormones, why was she so dodgy during the interview? A website offering medical
Dodgy
guidance to
about
minors
what?
or linking to people offering to ship and illegally manufactured and obtained drugs deserves far more scrutiny than Ethan was willing to provide.
Is it illegally manufactured and obtained? I mean, I imagine if it was actually illegal. Hello, Koopa Shell. Yeah, we're going over the Keffals Manifesto. Dork's Destiny. Yeah, is yeah. Sorry about that, but we're just going over this manifesto, and it's like I heard stuff about this, right? I heard stuff about the this manifesto and how there's so much hard evidence in here about how Keffals lied and did these like demonstrably like awful, like he says that he leaks all the DMs, which kind of implies that he knows, like he proves that Keffals lied about something. But so far, yeah, we've just seen like nitpicking lies anywhere. Yeah, I'll post this as a video on my YouTube. We went over like the lies that she supposedly told about her being doxxed. Yeah, Kiwi Farms got taken down. People are talking about, yeah, that was a really big win, and we talked about. Oh, earlier Destiny said there's no proof that Kiwi Farms ever actually like harassed people to the point that they committed suicide, which is, I think, demonstrably like not true, right? It's totally like a provable thing that like Kiwi Farms harassed some people to suicide. Like Near was the person that Keffals was talking about, and there was all sorts of other examples like of people like that Kiwi Farms harassed for years. Like in this video on my channel, Keffals is a gamer. Yeah, we go over like examples of what they've all the horrible stuff they've done, like harassing like trans children. Anyway, we're going over the bathtub hormone saga, right? About how they're grooming minors into giving them illegal HRT. So
Things get even more strange when you examine the direct.
so far we've gone over memes about how they're pink pilling minors, which is
Pointing them to HRT resources.
just doing a little memeing, right? Just doing a little trolling, trans trolling, right?
Why? You don't know the T is literally a steroid. No one tell him I've helped more than one minor or...
Or
Pretending in the replies. I just got a privilege.
yeah, why is that even a point of contention? If you're obsessed with whether or not Kiwi Farms harassed someone, yeah, he even says at the beginning here, he says that there's no evidence that all of the harassment came from Kiwi Farms members, and it's like, why are you even like, why is that even a point of contention here, right? Why are you saying like, oh, Kiwi Farms isn't totally at fault? I mean, it's a horrible site. Like like we got all the screenshots. It's all like harassment, right? Anyway.
A number of people access to necessarily medical care last weekend. This is just true though. Was I supposed to say something like I groomed a Discord full of minors into being trans and sold in bathtub estrogen laced with meth? It's also true.
Apparently that bathtub estrogen is kind of a meme now. Like it's kind of a like, we're cooking up estrogen in our bathtub, just like it's prohibition era, right? We're cooking up like vodka in our bathtub, but this time it's estrogen, right? As if like it's this like it's this like forbidden substance. What about stovetop testosterone? Yeah. What if you're you've got like a pot full of yeah, all these different chemicals you're just pouring in your body, all these yeah, stovetop. What if you're doing it in your sink? You plug up your sink and you're, yeah, they're obsessed with trans women because they because like they see because they're worried about like people like trans like men like pretending to be women so that they can like invade women's spaces. That this is the TERF argument, right? It's like the J.K. Rowling argument. They're scared, they're terrified of anybody with a penis, right? It's a biologically essentialist hatred of males, right? And that was like kind of like edgy as like a second wave feminist before like trans people became a thing, but like it turns out they hate all males, which includes trans women. Yeah, yeah, they never talk about the testosterone aspect, like, actually maybe they do, but like it's always estrogen. Yeah, yeah, they're afraid of like guys masquerading as girls to like, I don't know, yeah, invade women's spaces, do, I don't know, do some kind of sex crime of, yeah, that's, you would think they would care about like girls being groomed into being trans, like little girls, but yeah, it's always the trans woman or trans girls they don't like for some reason.
Random weird things. I would pay someone to do my estrogen shot. Somebody asks this question of, when making bathtub tea or E as well, what are the best ways to make sure it doesn't get contaminated from my tub? Flow hood, depyrogenation, microfiltration, etc.
Okay, so this is doesn't get contaminated from my tub. Okay, so this is like kind of like seriously asking like if I actually make bathtub testosterone or E bathtub. Yeah, sex crimes are illegal still, right? But yeah, it's not like it's legal to do sex crimes if you're trans, right? But I guess they're saying like, oh, it's just an excuse to hate trans people. That's it, right? It's that's the issue here. It's like fear mongering over trans people, like however they can, really. Yeah, it's like, oh, actually, officer, I took estrogen yesterday, so technically through this legal loophole, I'm off the hook now. I'm actually allowed to enter these women's restrooms and fondle some titties or something, or whatever they think trans people do. Honestly, like, if the biggest perpetrators of sex crime are straight cis men, right? So why don't you start there, guys? Why don't you start preventing sex crimes by going after that demographic of people?
Contaminated from my tub, flow hood, depyrogenation.
Okay, so this is a serious question about making like estrogen or like hormones in the tub. But again, like, it's possible like this is like, it's bathtub is being a meme here. Like why does it matter if you're actually making it in a bathtub, right?
Microfiltration, etc. Here's a list of bathtub estrogen collage, different chemicals that they ordered to mix this up. We'll get it.
Yeah, so look at this. Like, these are tiny vials, right?
Pyrogenation, microfiltration, etc. Here's a list of bathtub.
Look, this is someone's fingers. Like, why are you like holding it? I mean, this is not enough to like fill an entire bathtub. It's barely enough to like fill a sink, right? Yeah, I mean, hormones are not like a lot. You don't need a lot of hormones. You don't need a whole bathtub full of hormones to get your fix, right? So yeah, it seems like bathtub is like kind of being a meme, kind of a memester here.
Estrogen collage, different chemicals that they ordered to mix this up. We'll get more into this later, though, okay?
Oh, you'll get more into it.
Some compressed granules bathtub directly in your keratin every other day.
Keratin.
Point
Yes.
Your
Okay. Yes.
Here to force.
Okay.
etc.
Okay, so they're memeing about being force-femmed, right? Or force-femming others. Yeah, that's I mean, it's obviously a joke, right? It's obvious. It's like nobody's being force femmed, right? It's they're playing into like this this thing about like being groomed into things by like saying, oh, it's a confusing kink. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of problematic. It's one thing if you think if you're like talking to like your fellow transes who will get the joke. I mean, Miss Voice Training is replying to are these tweets? No, these or is this on Imgur? Yeah, yeah, the idea of like pink pilling people is problematic to say the least. If you're like memeing about like grooming people, grooming kids, grooming minors into being trans, then like you got to be careful, right? Because a lot of people don't get jokes, right? A lot of people don't have the right sense of humor. Like it's possible like some like crazy conservative or even Destiny will you know, use your words in like a manifesto to misconstrue your words to like make it seem like you're doing something bad, right?
I don't groom children. I show dozens of kids every week. How do I bathtub estrogen with cryptocurrency and I hide it from their parents? What are you talking about?
Buying bathtub estrogen with cryptocurrency. Okay, that's sus. Okay, this is the most sketchy part about this whole operation is that you're doing it with cryptocurrency. Yeah. Not cool. Yeah. I was totally on board with this DIY hormone therapy until you brought cryptocurrency into this.
It's okay. At Unironically, they helped like half a dozen minors acquire bathtub estrogen with Lemeo. DM Chloe immediately ordered bathtub estrogen from her cool friends and clown on endocrinologists.
Cool friends. Cool. Yeah. So
we'll get on to that. Maybe it's just memes.
Maybe it is just memes. Yeah. I'd like to see where this is going.
Interview. A website offering medical guidance to minors or linking to people offering to ship them illegally manufactured and obtained drugs deserves far more scrutiny than Ethan was willing to provide. Things get even more strange when you examine the directory's ties to Otto Kanoko Pharma and Lena Kiev.
To who?
A user on my subreddit, Mr. White Raven, made a subreddit post criticizing Sorrenti and the DIY HRT directory. The poster was able to provide a screenshot of a bathtub HRT guide, though he doesn't link to it or explain how he was able to find it in his post.
Okay.
After some investigation, my team managed to track down the exact guide the poster was referring to.
Okay.
And on April 18th, 2020, to promote their website. This guide gives explicit instruction for how to brew your own hormones, including sourcing all of the supplies from various sites on the internet, as well as how to actually manufacture your own hormone solutions for injection. Bills, process by doing it all. You can also email them if you want them to ship you their own stuff that they brewed themselves. But
again, I can understand why the DIY hormone therapy thing might be problematic, right? Like, it is like the same issue with like prohibition, right? If it's not like regulated and you're doing it yourself and you're an amateur, it's possible you could do it wrong. And if you're injecting it into your veins, you could be injecting different you can be injecting like tainted stuff into your veins. But like if it's the only way that you can get hormones, and it's like, yeah, gender therapy is life-saving. Yeah. If there's no other way to get these hormones, like if you live in a red state, yeah, in some countries or even like some red states, because like before we saw Keffals declaring her support for the DIY hormones. Where'd it go? Yeah, it's like basically, yeah, we don't care what you think about like if you think that I'm grooming kids or not. Because this is like, yeah, if you live in like a oppressive community, if you have like unsupportive family or parents that will like, I don't know, disown you if they find out that you're being trans, like publicly, it's like, if it's the only way you can do it, like I understand, like I totally get like why you would want to do that, right? Is it here? Yeah, anyways.
2022. A user on my subreddit, Mr. White Raven, made a subreddit post criticizing Sorrenti and the DIY HRT directory.
And it's all about like, if you're a minor, you're too young to go on to undergo hormone therapy because it's like life changing, and it's like, who are you to decide? Like, who are you to decide that someone is too young to be undergoing hormone therapy? You don't know anything about being trans. You think being all trans people are groomers. Like, what business do you have like dictating what trans people like are not allowed to do? Yeah, countries criminalize being trans. Yes, all fear mongering. I went over like the statistics about like detransitioning, right, and how detransitioning is either because they can't afford to continue transitioning, or that they are pressured into detransitioning by like transphobic relatives or community. Anyway, I really want to get to like, is there like any hard evidence that this DIY site is sketchy?
Any public links to any particular guide on the DIY Yeah, okay. Sorry. This was created long enough ago to have the old Otokonoko Pharmaceuticals website out. Firstly, the creator of Neurotard is still active on GitHub as of September 2022, and this is exclusively the type of content they engage with. Secondly, we were able to find a random GitHub account, Rexicide, that was created on October 26th of 2021. This account has starred or favorited the repository on GitHub after all public links to the guide were already taken down from the public-facing DIY HRT directory. Therefore, this guide to brew your own hormones must still be sent out privately in DMs, probably after a purchase is made on the Otokonoko Pharma website.
Okay, so this guide on making hormones is wrong? Or
this will be relevant in 2 seconds. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, it's gonna be relevant
After creating
soon.
a dummy
Okay,
account
cool.
for the Otokonoko Pharma site, we noticed a download
I'm
section,
still
which could be
waiting.
a place where the guide is distributed after making a purchase. We've also managed to track down multiple old 4chan posts, as well as a deleted Reddit thread where the link was being given out by anonymous users and the author themselves.
Still waiting for this to be
Analyzing all of
relevant.
these submissions is how we were able to determine that Neurotard, aka GC146, Lil__Lily, Yukin GC or whatever, and Lillian, founder and current owner of Otokono Pharma, is the one distributing the link. Neurotard is confirmed they're from Brazil, has made posts about learning DIY HRT, and written a guide on it as well. Their legal info also lines up with Otokonoko Pharma CNPG, the Brazilian
Where is
National
this
Registry of
going?
Entities. Also worth noting that Otokonoko Pharma is illegally registered as a retail seller of food products. It does not have a
Illegally
license from
registered.
Anvisa, the Brazilian Health Regulatory Agency, to sell products intended for therapeutic or medicinal purposes.
Okay, and I mean, it's kind of a sketchy site.
We decided to further investigate the Lena Kiev site listed on the DIY years ago, with a better formatted version being distributed in 2022 on 4chan.
How long is
These
this?
sites
Oh my
have
god.
clear instructions for making hormones from scratch in your home and have material sourcing directly linked. The
Okay,
guide was also
cool.
linked at least once in Sorrenti's Discord, although many channels are locked down, making it hard to know how many times it's been linked privately. Also interesting to know that they linked to a guide giving step-by-step instructions on how to cook your own mixes while simultaneously advising you to ignore some of the dosing guidelines by the guide's author, Lena. After discovering at
Ignore
least 2
dosing
guides posted on the
guidelines,
DIY
okay.
HRT directory in regards to brewing your own hormones, one must ask, why has Sorrenti continually misrepresented the information present on the wiki, especially when Chloe herself claims to personally know all the providers on the directory?
Okay, so this is kind of sketchy.
This is what you can click through. Maybe you can download once you buy things from the site, although we didn't actually buy anything, but damn,
Of course.
I today. This was another do-it-yourself hormone replacement therapy guide. This talks about like I'm not going to pretend to use chemistry words to know, but like how to mix the solutions and sealed vials and water boiling to pressure, cook under pressure. Basically, how to like mix and create your own hormones and then for injection and everything.
Okay, so what's the problem? It doesn't
These are all of
exactly.
this is the HRT directory that basically tells.
Okay, so this is just like everything else so far in this manifesto. It's just like nitpicking the details of like oh, is this actually happening? Is this actually true? Is this it's just like nitpicking like the little like words of certain things and like trying to pick it apart. I really want to see like, cause yeah, it's
You like where to buy.
I really just want to get through this to see if it goes anywhere. I've been skipping through this for like 3.5 hours. I'm not gonna watch all of this. No way. It's
What
not.
a weird dive down a 4chan Reddit hole. All of this investigation was. How to cook your
Yeah.
own injectable.
Yeah, Destiny has really fallen off. I don't get how it has this many views. It's like insane. I assume it's other people like me who are watching it just for the drama, right? Okay. Cook your own injectable estriadol. Okay, cool. So it seems like some of the instructions in this manual might not like be up to par with like a professional manual. But like, I guess that is to be expected. I mean, it's doing your own hormones is probably pretty difficult. They say they're not licensed. They're illegally licensed, but like, I have yet to see like it being harmful anyway. I really want to.
Estradiol by yourself.
I just want to get through this part, and then we'll see if it actually goes anywhere.
There's the DIY HRT directory posted above, but as a side note, for purely educational purposes, here's a fun chemistry experiment that you can try. This was linked in
Fun
Keffals'
chemistry
Discord.
experiment. I love doing chemistry, like,
But unfortunately, as you'll find out,
Some-
once we started doing
some
investigations,
fun-
they started locking down and changing around the structure of a lot of their stuff.
oh.
This is a really old YouTube video with Chloe in it, where she talks about knowing everybody on her guide. Oh, fuck, this is
Okay, she knows everybody, but she was lying about that?
You know, I've listed. They're all people that I've.
that guide on my site. What are you doing? I was never even aware that Homebrew Guide existed, bro. I've never linked it on my site. Look through the archives. Why didn't you just ask me about this instead? I could have answered all your questions. What are you doing? I've literally never linked this on my site. I literally discourage homebrewing from anyone that's asked me about it. Now that's what they've said. We're getting into weirder stuff now.
Okay, so they say they discourage homebrewing, but like, I mean, if it's the only option to, if these people need hormones and they need some way to get it, and this is the only way to get it, then it's like, oh, this is not the best option, but it's the only option, so you might as well do this. Yeah, I mean, it's risky, but it's like, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Very fucking annoying stuff, but part of the reason why all of this kind of had to be underground.
Yeah.
On September
it's gotta
14th,
be.
the day after the subreddit post goes up about Otokonoko Pharma, the DIY HRT directory silently delists the Otokonoko Pharma and Lena Keeve's site from the wiki.
Okay.
I believe.
So
We're tracking everything on their Git. So you can see on the Git that they delete this and they delete this. No announcement is made. And then if you go to the thing, you can see the before and after, where homebrew sourcing, it used to be listed down here, the Otokonoko one, and I
Is
think
this
the
going?
Lead one as well. Yes, both of these were
Otokonoko.
listed, and then both of these were taken down.
was taken down.
So I don't know why Chloe is messaging me right now saying she's never linked to any of this stuff or supported any of this before, but well, I do know why, and we'll get to that.
Okay, we're always getting to it. So can we get to it
The post
already?
herself making it clear that they are monitoring my community to determine their next moves.
I was looking for this thread that got posted on r/Destiny. It was like a Keffals groomer mega thread. Because
of course.
r/Destiny is basically Kiwi Farms when Kiwi Farms is offline. Which makes sense considering Destiny is
It's
a Kiwi Farms
offline
user.
chat for Kiwi Farms. Yeah.
On September 15th, the DIY
Is he actually a Kiwi Farms user? That would be interesting. I would not be surprised, honestly, at this point. Yeah, Destiny's community is sort of like its own little mini microcosm of the Kiwi Farms phenomenon. I mean, it's so insular, and it's like Destiny, like, it seems like he weaponizes his community against people he doesn't like. Again, we have Twitter stuff to go over. We'll see examples of Destiny fans acting very sussy somewhere in here. Yeah, we'll get to that, but I really just want to see if it actually goes anywhere.
Updated once more. Two crucial updates are added this time. Number one, a web crawler check is added to the website to keep track of links that my team and I are archiving on archive.org.
Okay.
So they added a web crawler, and they're starting to monitor every single thing that we're linking on the archive.org website. From this point onward, it's clear to my team and me that they're working in the background to bring down questionable websites/git/tweets based on what we're investigating.
Okay.
Number two, an age warning is added to the DIY HRT directory after seeing we archived many links relating to their activities and DIY hormone guides on the internet. So if you go to that website today, now there's an age gate, or an age link saying that you need to be 18 or older.
Okay, that is like...
This is incredibly strange, given how much Sorrenti and Chloe have explicitly advocated for this site to be used by minors. I don't know if I need to go through and click like every single one of these different things. These are some of the Chloe things of like pink pilling people. You have anti-trans things before the age of 18. Oh god, this is one of the boxes that come from that Otokonoko Pharma site. Keep out of reach of parents.
Keep out of reach of parents. Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to say. I mean, maybe it's another meme. It's like keep out of the... It always says keep out of the reach of children on the boxes, so now it's like, oh, now it's the parents that are the problem. Maybe it's a joke. Yeah, keep away from, yeah.
This whole website is so fucking weird.
It is weird, but it seems like once they are put under scrutiny by like public figures like Destiny, then that's when they start being a little more careful. They start taking down things that might be used against them, that might like not stand up to scrutiny, that might not be up to like professional standards, and then they have to add the age gate, like, oh, are you 18 years old or older? Yeah, it seems like they have to do that now because to like avoid like these, or like to like deaden these accusations of grooming. But again, it's like, you got to do it. Like, if you're a trans teenager and you don't have any other option, it's like it's risky, but it's like you gotta do it. Yeah, I don't know if it's like actually. Yeah, it's yeah, maybe they're doing it now. They're like changing things up now because they want to be more careful, right? Again, like it's always like this nitpicking all the details of like, oh, this seems weird. This seems kind of like this website is not registered. It's like illegally licensed, or we've never even like had any evidence that like, oh, this has actually caused any harm, or like the DIY hormones have actually like had a negative effect. Like, oh, I don't know, like someone tried to do DIY hormones and they injected something into them that like made them grow a third titty or something, right? No one even read anything in the website. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Or it's like, oh, someone injected homemade estrogen into their arm and it made their balls fall off or something, right? It's yeah, it's as if it's completely harmless. It's or like no more harmless than like any other kind of hormone therapy. Yeah, he keeps saying we're getting to it. What are we getting to exactly? Can we go?
It's also strange to add an age disclaimer when she's claimed that the website is simply an information guide.
It's always
Why would they need to be
strange.
Like,
Yeah, another thing to state. The DIY HRT directory does
keep
not
saying, oh, it's
provide
always
hormones.
strange. It's
It doesn't
strange.
provide anything. They have no resources. It's literally a website filled with links to other sites. They do
mean-
nothing. It's literally like a Wikipedia page.
Okay,
Just
having
an
links to other
information guide.
sites is kind of having the information on the
within the
site.
next week,
I mean,
they would remove more language from the website, advising minors to seek adults who can purchase Bitcoin for them. Here are other
Yeah.
sneaky, unannounced edits that they've done. So you can see the language here.
Reading
if
it
you're a
does
minor,
not
get a trusted
do
adult to
much
purchase
for
the
them.
Bitcoin for you, or go to your local Bitcoin ATM. That language was changed too. If you're unable to, get a trusted friend to purchase the Bitcoin for you, or go to your local
oh, so
Bitcoin
it is
ATM.
actually using
So they
cryptocurrency.
changed
Okay, that is
around, some of the language here to get rid of the references to
sketchy.
minors. All of this started
I didn't know.
happening after they noticed that we were archiving stuff on the archive website, by the way.
After they noticed we were archiving
On September
stuff.
17, 2022, Chloe reached out to me in DMs after seeing our activity on archive.org in an attempt to limit the information shown in this document. She also connected me with Sorrenti herself, and for the first time ever, I had a direct conversation with her in which she implored me not to release any additional information about her, subtly remarking that it would be
Okay.
incredibly damaging for both of us and would likely cost my YouTube channel in the process.
Oh no.
So this was Chloe reaching out to me in DMs. All of me and my whole team are talking, and we know what's going on when she's reaching out here. But basically, I just wanted to ask you not to mention my docs at all. The fact that I got docs in your Keffals Manifesto, if that's possible. I go back and forth, and we chat for a little bit. And towards the end of this conversation, she basically mentions from Keffals,
So this
she says,
person-
"Oh, I remembered one more thing. Keffals has unironically and genuinely offered that if you never speak or tweet about her again, that she will do the same for you. For what it's worth, I do think she's being genuine."
Oh, that's
I don't
a
know if I
nice
believe that one,
truce.
maybe. Here's a text between the two of them. Wait. Oh, and then I think
Okay, so this person is like worried that like she's being literally doxxed by this like insane manifesto. Yeah, what does this
and
say?
would likely cost my YouTube channel in the process. About her, subtly remarking that it would be incredibly damaging for both of us and would likely cost my YouTube channel in the process.
Cost
This was Chloe
Destiny's
reaching
YouTube
out to me in
channel?
DMs. All of me and my whole team are talking, and we know what's going on when she's reaching out here. But basically, I just wanted to ask you not to mention my docs at all. The fact that I got docs in your Keffals Manifesto, if that's possible.
Okay, so yeah, it would like why is this person, why is Destiny like wanting to don't mention her docs? I guess that's from Hunter dedicating a stream to looking at her docs on his stream. Yeah, that's yeah. It's like, why would you have to go over her being doxxed? I can try. I don't mean this to be offensive, but which names are you? I felt like I've heard everyone referred to by 50 different names. I don't even know who I'll be mentioning in regards to who got doxxed. I mean, yeah, being doxxed is kind of a sensitive account. Yeah, Bob or Chloe. You can say my legal name on stream. Okay, yeah. Okay, I don't think I've heard about this person being doxxed. I mean, yeah, it's like you wouldn't want to relitigate being doxxed, or like maybe they're worried like if someone wants to go after her and they hear that she's been doxxed, they would try to find that dox and try to find her address, right? or find her information because they know that the docs is out there somewhere. So, yeah. Oh, and now he's basically just dropping the DMs. So like, not just is he mentioning that she got doxxed, but like she's mentioning that she doesn't want to know that she got doxxed. She doesn't want people to know that she got doxxed. Okay.
I go back and forth
Kind
with
of
Chef for a
scumbag
little
move
bit.
here.
And towards the end of this conversation, she basically mentions not from Chloe, from Keffals, she says, "Oh, I remembered one more thing.
Yeah.
Keffals has unironically and genuinely offered that if you never speak or tweet about her again, that she will do the same for you. For what it's
Okay,
worth, I
that
do
sounds
think she's being
nice.
genuine. I don't know if I believe that one, matey. Here is a text
I mean,
between the two of them.
I mean, you would at least have to try it, right? You could just like stop attacking her, and maybe if she stops attacking you, then that'll be good. I mean, that's the way like truces work. Like if someone violates the truce, and the other person is free to go ahead and also start firing back. But like, Destiny said that he'll stop talking about Clara, about Keffals after this. So let's see.
Wait.
how
And then I
this
think she
goes.
posted one image and deleted it. I saved it. There was nothing extra juicy in that.
Okay, so
She says,
we're at the end of the hormone segment. So I
I think she's unironically tired with all the drama. Surprising, I know, and wants to go back to boring
Yeah.
regular streams. But like, you and I know it's very hard to avoid engaging when people poke at her. Yeah, I mean, it's similar on my end. And obviously, she's got the check marks on her end, and I'm fighting an uphill battle. I'm starting to dig through the Kiwi Farm
Yeah,
shit.
you
But
are
going through
fighting
archives
it.
and piecing together stories, I honestly zone the fuck out so hard because it's all such a clusterfuck of shit. At the very least, I think
This
I have
is
to
a
respond to the
clusterfuck.
Manifesto / Google
Yeah.
Doc she dropped on me, though. It's so messy.
What
I
are
don't
you
know how everything
responding
got this
to?
big,
What?
the mail. Unless she publicly retracts, I'll let her know. Bro, no leakies, but honestly, I regret letting her sponsor the DIY site. No amount of money is worth what I'm dealing with now. And then I said, yeah, I can imagine. I'm surprised it doesn't spam DDoS and shit by Kate.
Honestly, I still regret letting her sponsor the DIY site. Yeah, seems like the DIY site like did have some issues. It did have some like if you're providing like stuff to minors, then I do see how like some people would take an issue with that, but we went over this. It's like a lot of people like don't have a choice when it comes to like getting hormones. Again, we never ever found any proof that like any like negative effects were experienced from DIY hormones. I assume like there would be reports of it if it were actually the case. Seems like some of the sources were not really up to par. They were not very reliable when it comes to like the very specifics when it comes to like mixing and matching all the different chemicals that are needed for like properly making hormones. But again, we never got anything solid. We never got anything that like that like, oh, this is definitely like, oh, they're being groomed, they're being it seems like if anything the DIY site is a optics nightmare, because it's like, oh, you're literally like providing transition materials to children, to minors, and even if that's justified, it really looks bad, right? So I guess that would be the big issue here. Yeah, I regret letting her sponsor the DIY site. No amount of money is worth what I'm dealing with now. So much of what happens is bleed off from the Keffals shit. Surprise, it hasn't been DDoSed. Yeah. Yeah, they regret doing something that gives the transphobes ammo against them. Honestly, like, if you're doing like bathtub chemistry, like, you gotta be careful, right, with your sources. Yeah, the same Kiwi Farms people would be trying to harass the owners of the DIY site. Yeah, that's yeah, it's all the same. Yeah, it seems like Destiny's more like the public-facing side of like this this transphobic like hate campaign where it's like, oh, he's just concerned about oh, this doesn't seem like it's very up to par. There's concern like, oh, you're providing like things to minors and they're not even and you're not even sure that they're safe. You're not providing them with all the materials that they need. Again, like you're linking sites that are illegally licensed, which does sound bad, but yeah, again, we never got anything solid. We never got anything. Yeah, I've had enough of this manifesto.
AFers or other actors, yeah, but they might actually try to hold their own shit up and they want blah 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 blah. And then Keffals reaches out to me. She friend adds me.
Oh.
Hi, Steven. I thought it'd be good to keep an open line of communication.
Destiny's sweating.
I want to make it clear, I didn't add you to antagonize you. I'm not heavily invested in fighting with you, nor is it something I particularly enjoy. I would rather be doing things I find more fulfilling on a personal level.
He's like,
and I'm sure you feel the same.
Keffals herself is DMing me. Oh no, where is this going?
Chloe just told me about your conversation, and I wanted to have a way to contact you in case it was ever pertinent to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, I understand. I'm a bit worried about the back and forth. It means it will end up going on for months more.
Fine. Steven's going Joker mode. He's about to. He's been the Joker for a while, but he's about to go.
I feel a bit like I kind of have to respond to your Google Doc about me yesterday, and I'm sure you'll want me to respond to the response, etc. Or I'm sure you'll want to respond to the response, etc. Although seriously, yeah, it would probably be a good idea to move on from these fights. The Google Doc isn't new. It's just the resource folder from the 7-hour stream I did 2 months ago. One fear I have is that ever since the swatting incident, I have a lot of MSM backing and dozens of journalists follow me now. If we both continue down this road, there's a chance journalists will start to pick it up and make it enter into a news cycle. I don't think either of us wants that. It would be incredibly messy and have repercussions for both of us.
It'll be so messy.
I'll consider it. If I make a
please
response, it might just be me giving context to / disagreeing with some of the screenshots, and I'll make sure August doesn't make a video about it. I was planning to release my reaction to your Twitter ban as a video in the next couple days, but my reach outside Twitter is pretty minimal. I can scrap the video if it helps build trust between us. I've heard what you think about my intentions, but I want you to know that my intent towards you was never malicious. The truth is, I felt threatened because our initial interactions led to me getting posted in your KF thread, and consequently getting my own thread. When you explicitly mentioned my KF thread in your manifesto, I was scared it would add fuel to the fire. You don't like me, your community hates me, and there is more than likely at least one
so their interactions actually got them mentioned on QE Farms? Okay, so yeah, that would be, yeah, it seems like them going at it is bad for both of them, so yeah, it makes sense. It's nice that Keffals is like reaching out to him, right? Like being like, hey, this is not good, and like I'm the marginalized individual here, so like maybe this is worse for me than like anyone else. Can I just see? I just want to skip to the end and like see how this turns out.
Gone now. It used to be there, right?
What?
It was there a few days ago.
So that attack her due to her status as a trans woman. She is a uniquely vitriolic individual who has built her brand on bullying and her intentionally involved in the DIY HRT wiki stuff. They got a sponsor from Keffals of all people, and I've heard you're dropping some sort of content related to her soon. Is there anything I should be aware of? Does the DIY HRT wiki stuff feature in it to any extent? I have no idea at the moment. I started a website with my ex-GF, then a community member, blah, blah, blah. Now there's a Kiwi Farms thread on it. Here I leak a little bit of information. Gee, wait, which person took it over? Chloe? And wait, who is your ex-girlfriend? I'm so confused. I feel like so many worlds are colliding, lol. What was the original domain of the site? So I'm trying to get info from her, and I think she's trying to
Okay, I
never did. But still, she's never, ever, ever mentioned it publicly. I'm glad you're reasonable. You're a really smart guy. I never doubted that about you. You obviously see how we've the potential to how we both have.
Oh yeah, it's them. It's Keffals is always a bully. Yeah, she's being so mean, like by ratioing people on Twitter and like by just like being rude to them. Yeah, they're it's so awful. How could she do that? Yeah, it's rich coming from Destiny. Yeah, as if Destiny does not bully people. That's basically his whole career at this moment. Yeah, what a clown. He's basically, yeah, he's ever since like 2020, basically his career has been like driven by spite against his political opponents. And yeah, we'll get into that later. We have some Twitter stuff to go over. I mean, yeah, I know Twitter, but like I just want to get through this so we can play some video games. Yeah.
have the potential to lose control over the
We'll play
situation if it goes
something.
mainstream. If this situation ended up as a news cycle, it would put my friends and family at risk, and at worst, it could result in your YouTube channel getting terminated. I'm glad you agree with me that both of us walking away is the best course of action. I don't want to see either of us eat shit because of this. Okay, gotcha, makes sense. I'll think about it more from my POV, but I'm
Okay. Oh, so Keffals is saying like, hey, it's a nice YouTube channel you got there. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it. You catch my drift? You know what I mean? You getting what I'm saying here? Yeah, that's I see what's going on. Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah, it seems like Italian mobster Keffals being like, hey, it's a nice YouTube channel you got there. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it. Making you an offer you can't refuse here. She's literally making him an offer that he should not be refusing. Yeah. But yeah, he'll be sleeping with the fishes. Hey. It's gonna be a little problematic for you if you keep harassing this Italian trans woman, if you catch my drift over here. Come on. Yeah, you'll be going on a long boat ride, if you know what I mean. Come on here. It's like, it'll be a shame if that's a nice Twitter evasion account you got there. It would be a shame if you were banned from Twitter again, if you know what I mean. It would be a shame if I sent my mob, my Italian online Italian mob to mass report your third ban evasion accounts. Yeah. Is Destiny still on the omniliberal tag on Twitter? It's like everybody knows it's not Destiny's friend, it's Destiny. Yeah, that's a nice Twitter handle you got there. It'd be a shame if you were outed as a ban evader again. Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty content to probably just leave everything where it is. Even in the best case where my doc destroys you, it means every single person in my corner is a deranged transphobe / doxer / harasser / Nazi / etc. who's going to end up causing me more trouble than the positive exposure on any doc would ever get me regardless.
Is that it?
For the first time, I had a direct conversation with Keffals in which she implored me not to release any additional information about her, subtly remarking that it would be incredibly damaging for both of us and would likely cost my YouTube channel in the process.
Hey.
The very same night, Josikins, the Psychonaut Wiki founder, reached out to me claiming that she and someone else initially started the DIY HRT directory.
Okay.
Yo, I'm very tangentially involved in the DIY HRT wiki stuff. They got a sponsor from Keffals of all people, and I've heard you're dropping some sort of content related to her soon. Is there anything I should be aware of? Does the DIY HRT wiki stuff feature in it to any extent? I have no idea at the moment. I started that website with my ex-GF, then a community member, blah, blah, blah. Now there's a Kiwi Farms thread on it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Here I leak a little bit of information. Gee, wait, which person took it over? Chloe? And wait, who is your ex-girlfriend? I'm so confused. I feel like so many worlds are colliding, lol. What was the original domain of the site? So I'm trying to get info from her, and I think she's trying to get info from me. I have no idea who Chloe is. I think it's DIYHRT.wiki. If you could just not stress that in whatever content you're dropping to whatever degree you can, I would greatly appreciate it. For what it's worth, I agree with all your takes on trans issues and really appreciate your voice of sanity in the space. Yeah, I won't leak anything or anything.
Acting nice
I won't leak anything or
now.
anything related to your stuff. Just trying to make sure I don't include you if you don't want to be included.
Uh-oh. Okay, so he's literally leaking the DMs. Okay, what a sneaky little snake. Like, they're like politely asking him, like, hey, please don't leak anything on me personally. Like, I worked hard on this site, and it's like, I don't want to get in trouble. I've already got like Kiwi Farms threads on me. It's like, I don't need any more of this shit. And they're like, he's just like, oh yeah, sure. He's being all nice, and he's like, oh haha, like who's your ex-girlfriend? Oh my god, like that's so crazy. I don't even know. But like, then he just goes and leaks all this convo, like all this Discord convo on what a sneaky little snake. Yeah, beware. Like, do not, if you ever DM Destiny, which, I mean, if I ever DM Destiny, I'm going to be very careful with what I say, because I know that those DMs are going to get leaked.
Deleted this message to try to make it look like I was...
Yeah, why is he even leaking this? Are these the DMs that he said that he leaked? Like, what's the point of even leaking this? Like, I don't get it. Like, I guess it's drama. I guess it makes for a good clickbait headline, clickbait video title. But it's like, yeah, please don't include me in your. Yeah, it's all about like, yeah, making the stream even longer.
Hiding something. But at some point, I think I messaged him, I'm like, you're not related to like the Lillian bathtub hormone or bathtub cauldron, I think it was called, or Leela's bathtub cauldron, it was something like that. And she's like, I have no idea who Lillian
Other
is.
stream, yeah. This other guy.
Just minutes after leaking one of Neurotard's AKAs to her, the DIY HRT GitHub repo is brought offline in order to hide any future changes to the website.
Okay.
So they delist the GitHub repo for their website so that we can't track changes on it anymore. So the project is no longer open source. Future snaps of the site are also blacklisted from appearing on archive.org, something only possible if requested by the owner of the domain. It's really funny because I think it was either, I don't want to get this wrong, it was either them or CyberVegan suggested we should start taking snapshots of the snapshots because they're probably going to blacklist their domain, and that's absolutely what they do. So added to the DIY HRT Git, they say, this is evidence that I own DIYHRT.wiki and DIYHRT.github.io. It is my request to have these sites removed from the Wayback Machine as per my email, trying to bring all evidence and all past archived stuff of this website offline and off of all the internet archives.
It is kind
now
of
when you check the
sussy.
Wayback Machine or any archiving sites, you cannot list or go back and see snapshots of the DIY HRT website.
Yeah.
If the website was merely a wiki listing other resources, as Sorrenti claimed, why so much secrecy surrounding the GitHub and the website? Why would they begin to track our archiving movements, and why would they take things down?
It's because they're afraid that like you will like use something against them, right? You will like find something that could like be interpreted in a certain way that makes it look not charitable to you, right? That not charitable to Keffals and the DIY people, right? Again, it's nothing solid, nothing certain. It's always like, oh, this is very sussy. It's how they're acting. It's very strange. How it's very like they're taking down all this information. Once we start looking at it, us, our online group of internet trolls, yeah.
2 days later, on September 19th, Chloe tweets that harassment has forced her to shut down her Twitter and step away from the DIY HRT directory. In the very same thread, she claims that Sorrenti has absolutely nothing to do with the decisions and had no input on anything relating to the website. This seems suspect given the level of coordination publicly and behind the scenes between Chloe and Sorrenti. But even if that was the case, that is no excuse for sponsoring the directory. It's the responsibility of Sorrenti to do her due diligence before sponsoring or endorsing any entity, particularly when it comes to something so intimately tied to the health and safety of minors. So this was 2 days after the 3 people tried to message me to drop our investigation. Recently, I've been receiving a significant ramp up in the harassment I've been facing. The situation has escalated beyond what I'm able to deal with. I will be shutting down my Twitter and I will no longer be involved in the DIY HRT directory. Me and the
Yeah, so she's saying that she's been harassed because of this, and that's why
the whole current team of people who have developed it so
she's
far
not
will no
doing
longer
the
be
DIY
contributing in
stuff
any capacity
anymore.
to the site. Ownership of the site will be transferred to a new owner within the next few days. On a final note, just to be clear, Keffals has never had any say in the development of the site beyond the design of the sponsorship banner and how it would be run.
Okay.
Any changes made to the site were decisions
Is
made
this
by
going
our team.
anywhere? Hello? Okay, yeah, I'm done with this. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get any more out of watching this. Yeah, I think we've got all we need. By the way, so it's funny how
Okay, fine. So here's a question. You enter a shady...
this is Debating Destiny by Keffals. So interestingly, during this whole stream that we just watched by Destiny, he baited everyone into watching by saying, oh, the Jordan Peterson debate on this stream. We're gonna have Jordan B. Peterson on the stream doing a debate. But no, there was no Jordan Peterson. That would be epic. But yeah, then the people... Yeah, even though I wasted an hour of my life watching this manifesto, I have to watch all like the other 2.5 hours, right? Just to actually get it. I missed all the juicy parts. I must have skipped past them. Oh man, I missed all the good parts. And I'm lucky I managed to I figured out how to do it at 1.5 speed. Yeah, if you don't watch it all, bad faith. Yeah, I'm so bad faith, guys. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, here on Twitter, it's like... It's all about like, oh, you didn't even read the manifesto. You didn't even read all of this solid evidence. Like Destiny's got got Keffals like down. He like down to her like it's unreal how much evidence he has that she lied. She lied about so many things. And then what are the claims in the manifesto? There is not enough evidence to support the claim that Huey Farms was bullied and went to suicide. Huey Farms was likely not the main culprit behind most of Keffals' harassment. Yeah, these are the bullet points. These are the big bombshells that are dropped in this manifesto. Actively lies about the things Kiwi Farms has done. Kiwi Farms openly bragged about their body count and laughed and celebrated the suicides of their targets. Yeah, these are the worst people. They celebrated when they got people fired or ruined their lives or etc. We went over how they harassed this 9-year-old trans girl and their parents. Yeah, it's all like, oh, dude, you didn't even read the manifesto, dude. You didn't even get it. You didn't even Uh-oh, Keemstar. If you watched Destiny's stream today explaining the feud between him and Keffals and still end up on Keffals' side, you are delusional. It's clear Keffals has been falsely accusing Destiny of numerous things for months, straight up facts backed up by video evidence. Yeah, Keemstar. Okay, so Keemstar is on Destiny's side. That's a point against Destiny. And who is it? Jordan Peterson watching Destiny's Keffals manifesto, just realizing the conversation won't happen. Yeah, he's like, what? I thought I was supposed to be debating Destiny, but Destiny said he was going to debate me, but no. But he's just reading this manifesto instead. Oh, and here's, guess who else is a Destiny supporter? Andy No. Destiny, whose politics basically consists of spite and opportunistic sadism. Yep. He's doing a good job of collecting allies. Destiny fans should know I literally have someone who hides the replies of and blocks people who sim for him in my mentions. Yeah, seems like, yeah. Destiny fans do a lot of harassment themselves. And look at this guy. Vivian explicitly implies that renowned dipshit Andy No is a mark, retweeting Destiny's document is a mark against Destiny. For someone who considers himself an academic, you should know this is very poor logic. I mean, guilt by association is invalid in law, but not necessarily. Like, if it's dipshits like Andy No who are doing this, right, then that's sort of indicative of like the kind of audience that you're catering to, right? Yeah, it's let's see, what am I looking for here? Yeah, Dreamleaf was like, oh, you retweeted Destiny's Psychotic Manifesto, and they're like, oh, you didn't even read the manifesto. It's like, you don't have to read the manifesto to know that it's bullshit, right? He's asking, what are the bad faith criticism you're pointing to? The fact that he retweeted the criticism himself as the proof. Bad faith. Yeah, that's why you need people like me, okay? People who actually get into the weeds here. What am I looking for? Mythaldu. What does he have to say? It is in fact Rose Wrist's actions in supporting Destiny that constitute internet terrorism. Yeah, it's not like Destiny's community is any better than Keffals' community. Oh, this is it. Average Destiny fan. Destiny fans treating HRT like meth is so funny, dog. Thanks for making my purchase of DIY synthesized estradiol Makes seem so much cooler. It sterilizes you, idiot. Says the cringe Destiny fan. That's the goal. The goal of meth is to feel good for a few hours, and HRT is more permanent and it has more damaging results. To which, perfect reply. Soy face pumpkin. I had to save this. This is the spookiest soy face I've ever seen. And then, classic, transphobic response. Go dilate. That's a reference to, I don't know. I don't even know. You have to be like so into like transphobic lore to like even know what this is supposed to mean, right? Yeah, average Destiny fan. You see, I'm going to call this person a slur so that when they rightfully call me out for it, then I'm going to point out that I didn't address any of my other points, and thus I'm right. Yeah, yeah, I called you a slur, and you didn't explain to me, you didn't write a paragraph telling me why that's a wrong thing to do. So, just looks like I won this argument, huh? Right. I'm more rational because I'd still be able to do logic if I were called a slur. Yeah. Hey, yeah, if I were called a slur, I would still be able to do, I would still be very calm and collected. Sure, buddy. Yeah, so this is what happens when you push these guys a little bit. Behind every I have concerns about this whole trans issue, it's just bigotry. Yeah. They're just since Destiny is a more public-facing figure. I mean, he puts his face out there at least, right? He has to be like, oh, I'm just concerned about this and that. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. This is just yeah, at first this guy is just like, it sterilizes you, idiot. Yeah, at first he's just a concern that like doing HRT is gonna sterilize you. Oh no. And of course this guy's a good guy, so he would never want anything bad to happen to you. And so then he does the once he's called a soy face, then he busts out the transphobia. Sure. And HRT sterilizes, it lowers sperm count while on HRT, and if you go off HRT, sperm count goes back to normal. Okay, interesting to know. Yeah, yeah. Hormones do not always do the sterilization. Yeah. That's another just like fear-mongering thing about I just love this. I love this. I saved this because I'm gonna use this. It's spooky season, so it's time for some spooky soy face, right? I love it. Where do you find a pumpkin that big? Anyway. Anyway, and it's like all these Destiny dick writers are like, do you actually have a response? Do you have a response or whatever? It's like, you don't need to respond to this. Like, everybody knows that, everybody knows that Destiny's just acting in bad faith. Like, you don't have to, after a certain point, it's like, you don't need to take this person seriously anymore. Ooh, if you see brand new accounts with no followers attacking me, it's because of a deliberate harassment campaign that is being orchestrated by a YouTuber known as Destiny. Epilady. Yeah. Wait, hold on. There's no evidence of a swatting? What happened was a search warrant execution? Okay. Oh, and that was the other thing in the manifesto. It's like, oh, Keffals said she was dead named by cops, but the cops said that they didn't dead name her. So, of course, we're going to believe the cops over Keffals, right? And of course, it's literally a swatting. Like, what do you think it was? she never got called with the male name she had before transitioning. Okay, sure. Oh, hey, it's Giga Chad. I'm an incel. I'm literally fucking your mom right now. Based. Okay, what am I looking for? Yeah, I don't know. It's like, again, nitpicking the details, like, oh, was she really dead named? There's no proof that she was being dead named, or neutral negative. Okay, most negative. Emily. Ooh, Emily's a cat girl. Okay, cool. I should tweet something, but like, I don't know what to say. It's already been said. And of course, in the Destiny tag, there's all those tweeters that are tweeting about Destiny the video game, right? Destiny 1 is trending. Does anyone have any big booty Destiny models we can have? Yeah. It's like downplaying everything like that's happening. Like Destiny is like accusing Keffals of like making stuff up to play up the swatting as if it's like a worse thing. If it's something that's like, I don't know, she's making it sound worse than it is, but they are literally like minimizing the swatting. They're going in the opposite direction. So anyway, fringe Destiny fans versus Chad Destiny video game enjoyers. Destiny 1, the best community. Yeah, why would you simp for Destiny on Twitter when you could just do this instead, right? Does anyone have any big booty Destiny models I could have? And so I think as we wrap this up, it's good to Destiny baited a bunch of people into watching this Manifesto stream by saying, oh, Jordan Peterson's going to be on here. We're going to have a debate on Jordan Peterson. So I think this is an appropriate response by Keffals.
So I hope that you're all ready for it. I'd be stupid. to
She
assume at
debates
this point
Destiny,
people
and I
can-
wondered, like, what kind of debate would last for 9 minutes? But
And I have a very complicated history with Destiny. I don't actually
Yes.
know much about Destiny, but
Destiny.
I've had friends who really enjoy Destiny. I used to have a friend who played on a Minecraft server that I was on, who was always like, you should play Destiny with me. It's a really fun game. And I was just like, I don't know. You know, like, it's hard to get into new games. So
I've
I've never
heard a
played
different
Destiny
thing-
before,
I've
and
heard
that's
of
why I
mixed
have a hard time
reviews on
like, with the debate.
Destiny.
Like, is Destiny
It's-
good or bad? And it's like, I don't really know. Like, I've never played the fucking game before. So, you know, it's been pretty contentious, like with my past, like the history that I've had with this video game. But I think in general, it's probably good. It's like, I think Destiny's probably a good
That's
game.
all right.
Like,
I think
if it wasn't a good game, they probably wouldn't have made a
a
sequel
little
to Destiny.
overhyped,
Like,
maybe.
the fucking game is like always trending on Twitter. So if I had to give it a review, even though I've never played it, I think I would give Destiny probably like a 7.5 out of 10. Because, you know, I had some other people that I talked to, they tell me that Destiny is overrated. And I could see that.
Destiny
Like,
is
it seems
overrated.
like it's a
That's
game
true.
that like gets way too much hype for what it is. So I don't know. Maybe I could like play it on stream sometime, because
yeah.
Destiny's alright, not bad. Yeah, like I don't. That's why it was so.
So yeah, this is an appropriate response to Destiny. This is treating Destiny with all the seriousness that he deserves. So yeah, imagine saying this to someone who has no interest in watching a 3.5-hour YouTube video, actual derangement in the Destiny community. I think anyone outside their bubble has any desire to do that's kind of self-harm. Yeah, this is literally self-harm by watching this whole last debate. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to do some hardcore drugs to erase that from my memory. Like, I'm gonna get fucked up tonight after this. I'm gonna, yeah. Why engage with a critique or the content when you can just do guilt by association? Win-win. Yeah, a guilt by association. Well, it might be a logical fallacy if you're just associating with a few people, but like he associates with a lot of very sussy people. So in the end, should I tweet about this? So I just watched an hour of Destiny's deranged manifesto against Keffals, and it's all nitpicking the details of the I like it, and the whole DIY HRT thing is more of the same. I understand why minors doing their own hormones, making their own hormones. Hormones would cause concern, but if they live in transphobic communities and families and they need HRT, and this is the only way to get it, it can be justified. It can be justified. Then the DIY site started cleaning up its sources once it was put under scrutiny by hostile sources. Hostile entities that would accuse them of grooming minors. Again, no evidence of pressuring, no evidence of such, just no evidence of such. They just knew it would be an optics nightmare and was getting ahead of it. Hey, Koopa Shell. Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah. If there was evidence that someone used DIY hormones that made them grow a third titty or made their balls fall off, then that would be something. But so far, just concern trolling from the Taliban. Okay, is that enough? Oh wow, it's getting late. Okay. I'm gonna go take a piss, and then I will go and do something. I'll go and play some video game.